Welcome into our test broadcast of today's game between the Bourne Braves and the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. Once again, just a test for our upcoming broadcast. Game 9 of the Cape League season. Hyannis comes in at 5-2-1. Bourne at 2-5-1. These two teams matched up on Thursday following the league-wide off day and tied 6-6. It's been the lone tie of the Cape so far this summer, and Bourne looking to get back on track. Last win came on Friday at Falmouth. Test close here. We'll be back in a couple of minutes with the start of today's broadcast.
From McKeon Park in Hyannis, hello everyone and welcome into pregame Tomahawk Talk. I'm your host Adam Gotkin as the Bourne Braves search to get back into the win column today against the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. This is the first time this season that the Bravos will face a team for the second time this year. When these teams first matched up, it was a 6-6 tie, the only tie that we have seen all year so far in the Cape League. That was a game where the Bravos looked really good early on and then struggled as the game went on. That's how things have gone pretty much throughout this entire season for the Braves. Last night, an 8-1 loss to the YD Red Sox where the bullpen had some issues in the end, and bullpen issues were the story of the game last night for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. They lost to the Wareham Gatemen and gave up multiple runs in the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th innings. They gave up double-digit runs in that loss to the Gatemen, who have now become the top team in the Cape League. The Bravos hoping to catch this Hyannis team at the right time and knock them off in a victory. Well, let's get you the highlights from last night's game against the YD Red Sox for the Bourne Braves before we continue on here on Pregame Tomahawk Talk with an interview with Merrick Houston and some other great pregame content.
Sparks out of the stretch. 1-0 is absolutely crushed to center field. Jackson can only watch it go over the fence, and YD grabs an early 1-0 lead thanks to a solo home run from their shortstop, Vahiva Aloy. There's been 8 times so far this summer for Bourne over the first 7 games where they've had 2 outs and have gotten a base hit to drive in a run. Penny looking to make that 9 right here and tie this game up at 1 apiece. But right now, 1-0 YD with the lead. Here's the 0-2 from Osbolt. Ground ball once again. It's past Aloy and into left center field. Here comes Houston around third base. And there's another 2-out RBI hit for the Bravos. This time it's off the bat of Jack Penny. And we're tied at 1 here in the top of the third. Game tied at 1. Bourne tied it in the top half with a Jack Penny RBI single. Sparks takes a breath, fires in the 1-2, and it's swung on and missed by Martinez for strike 3. Nolan Sparks gets out of the bases-loaded 2-out jam with his 4th strikeout of the night, his 2nd of that 3rd inning. And we're still tied at 1 apiece going to the 4th here from Red Wilson Field. 1st and 3rd reset. 0-2, Neal goes again, and it's foul-tipped into the mitt this time for strike number 3, the 2nd strikeout of the inning for Sparks, and he works out of yet another jam here at Red Wilson Field in Yarmouth. Count even. The pitch from Nolan Sparks on the ground to first. Michelle throws to Houston for the first out. And there's no play at first base. Burris will score the go-ahead run on the fielder's choice by Aloy. And the Red Sox get that lead back. It's 2-1 YD. Runners on the corners with 2 away. A 2-1 count from Legurnick. There goes the runner at first. The throw goes to second. It's in plenty of time. Houston applies the tag, and that's going to end the threat. Adonis Guzman showing off the arm for the 3rd out here in the bottom of the 5th. And the Bravos limit the damage to only 1 run. Legurnick going from the stretch with the bases loaded. 1-1 offering to call. Ground ball to short. Merrick Houston bobbles it initially, flips to second. The out will be recorded there on what would have been a tailor-made 6-4-3 double play. Turns into an RBI fielder's choice for Phoenix Call and makes it 3-1 YD. Now Legurnick. The 2-2 to Burris. Outside ball 3. The runner goes. The throw is into center field for Guzman. And that's going to allow the 4th run of the day to score for YD. McGee scores on the throwing error by Adonis Guzman behind the plate. And it's 4-1 Red Sox over to the Braves. So now Carmichael to the plate with the bases loaded and 1 away. First pitch. Deep drive to right center field. Back goes Vitterick and Jackson, and it's a grand slam for YD. Easton Carmichael continues to stay hot here for the Red Sox. His first homer of the summer comes in grand fashion, and YD has blown it open here in the bottom of the 6th. It's 8-1. Jones out of the wind. The payoff offering is swung on and missed by Vitterick, and that'll do it from Red Wilson Field. The Red Sox with a big 6-run 6th inning, and that'll anchor them to an 8-1 victory over the Bravos.
As we continue on here on pregame Tomahawk Talk, I'm now joined by Cam Manna and Nathan Schwartz here on the field at McKeon Park. And Cam, I'm going to start off with you. This is the first time opponent this year. Took on the Harbor Hawks last week at Doran Park in a 6-6 tie.
And it was a complete game for most of it until the 8th inning, and then this Hyannis offense put up 3 runs. That's been the story right now for the Braves bullpen as a whole. They're not playing as much damage control in these long innings. We saw 6 runs last night from YD to put them away in the 8-1 victory. So Bourne played a very good game overall. The offense was there. They pitched well until late. We need to see here tonight Bourne play a complete 9 innings.
Yeah, those bullpen issues have really been the big difference for the Braves recently. A lot of blown games towards the end, and the Braves are going to hope that they can get another good start today from Donovan Zach, because recently the starting pitching has been pretty phenomenal.
It's been great, and Zach was really good in his first start, I thought, last Monday at Chatham. We saw those 8 strikeouts where he was working with the fastball, very fastball reliant in that start. We started to see the breaking ball more towards the back end, but it's those 5 walks that we looked at last time. He didn't give up a hit, so if he can limit those walks, I think he's in for another good outing.
Yeah, the walks were the issue in that entire game against Chatham. They were really the big issue for this pitching staff at the start of the year, but the walks have kind of gone away recently, but with that, some of the hitting struggles have really started to blossom as the season has gone on, and the hits have just gone down and down, Cam, recently.
I'm not going to bring up a lot of different stats right now. The only one I'm going to bring up is Bourne has had 2 leadoff base runners in the last 20 innings. That's the one to me that is the most eye-opening right now. Bourne towards the top of the order. If it's Chris Stanfield, if it's whoever's at the top of the lineup has to get on base. And towards the bottom of the Braves order, there needs to be some reliance on no out and one out base runners. So that's what I want to see here tonight.
And not just not getting hits to start off innings, also not walking. This team has the least amount of walks out of any in the Cape League to start innings, and so often all you need is a walk to kickstart a run. Well, pregame Tomahawk rolls on here from McKeon Park right now. Adam Gotkin now joined by Merrick Houston here on pregame Tomahawk Talk ahead of the Braves taking on the Harbor Hawks. Merrick, first off, this is the first time that you guys are playing a team for a second time this season. Does that at all change the preparation going into the game?
Not at all. We just come out here, play the game of baseball, and trying to have fun and win a baseball game. So no, it doesn't change anything.
You're heading down to North Carolina in just a little bit to play for the U.S. Collegiate National Team. What's an opportunity like that mean to you?
Yes, sir. It's awesome. I get to see my parents are going to be down there, so I get to play in front of them and represent our country. It's a big honor, so I'm excited.
And before that, you've had your first part of the summer here in Bourne. What's your experience been like on the Cape League?
Awesome. The dudes are great. I love playing in our park. All the fans. It's definitely a unique environment, so I love being here. For sure.
And you guys have had some struggles a little bit offensively recently. What goes into trying to turn that around?
Yeah, we're just trying to get comfortable, get to where we can be to be successful, and that's, I think, being more comfortable in the batter's box, being more comfortable approach, and I think we're getting better. So,
what's it like when you have a big group of guys from everywhere across the country coming together? You're at Wake in the ACC. There's a couple of Virginia Tech guys. What's that like in the dugout?
It's fun. You get a whole lot of perspectives, and you get to learn from that. So it's cool to hear from a lot of different guys and a lot of different perspectives. So it's definitely interesting from that point of view. So.
And last year you were in the Perfect Game League. Now you're making the jump here to the Cape League. What's been the biggest difference for you?
Pitching, for sure. The level of pitching here is not what I thought, and it's a lot better than I thought. So, I mean, that's definitely a big difference, and just adjusting to that, yeah.
And you're an infielder. These parks are all a little bit different. They're very different, especially from what you see in the ACC. How do you get adjusted to maybe some of the weird hops?
Yeah, so you just got to kind of be more focused and kind of find your hop, pick your hop. It honestly makes you a better infielder trying to play here every single day, and Jeffrey just trying to get better. So.
All right, well, thank you very much, Merrick. First pitch coming up in just a little bit. We continue on now here on pregame Tomahawk Talk. Adam Gotkin joined by Sean Brennan, beat reporter for the Bourne Braves. And Sean, starting things off with this Hyannis team and its starting pitcher today, Ryan Dromboski. He's one of the best pitchers in all of Division I baseball.
Yeah, well, 2 years ago in 2023, he won the Ivy League Pitcher of the Year. He had a sub-4 ERA, very good stuff. This year, regressed a little bit, had around a 7.5 ERA. The strikeouts were there. He had 71 in about 63 innings, but on the Cape, he's looked like his 2023 self. In one start against Chatham, he went 3 and 2 innings scoreless, fanned 4, so, a little bit of struggles this year, but he's looking very good in one start, and I'm sure he'll bring his stuff again today.
And one of the things with college baseball is you can't always read too much into certain guys' ERAs. There's always so much going on outside of just the guy's stuff, but we've seen Dromboski's stuff, and he can really blow it past guys. Now to this Hyannis team in general, throughout this season they've been one of the hotter teams in the league, but have slowed down a little bit recently.
Yeah, well, you mentioned it. They started 4-0 going into the Braves game at Doran Park. They were outscoring opponents 36-5. I mean, that's just dominant. But after the Braves game, they played 3 opponents, and they've let up 16 runs. They've scored 16 runs. They're 1 and 2 in those 3 games. So I think we kind of expected them to regress a little bit and come back down to earth, and that's what we're seeing. So it's a good time for the Braves to face them again. A very opportunistic game for a win.
You said it there. A lot of that regression has been because of the pitching, but the bats are still playing pretty well right now.
Yeah, well, John Gazdar, we saw what he could do. Hit a 2-run shot in the first inning with 1 out against Bourne. He's still gone 3 for 7 with a double. Eric Snow's another guy that has been swinging it well, and you can pick out a bunch of guys on this team that are swinging it well. Like you said, it's the pitching. That's expected at times, but this is still a very dangerous lineup, and if Dromboski can pitch well today, they're going to be a much dangerous team like the one we saw a couple days ago in Doran Park.
Well, Sean, thank you very much. First pitch coming up in just a little bit here from McKeon Park.
A beautiful Monday night from McKeon Park as we gear up for the 9th game of the Cape League season in 2024. It's a West Division showdown for the second time this season as the Bourne Braves take the trip to face off against the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. Good evening, everybody, and welcome into the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. Alongside Nathan Schwartz, Adam Gotkin will be with us shortly. Cam Manna with you, and the Braves will start with last night, Nathan. Come in 2-5-1, and last night the offense struggled a little bit, but we talked about it today during batting practice. There were some adjustments. There was a meeting with Jared Saltalamacchia and the whole entire lineup, and adjustments, and maybe the lineup coming together here as we've expected early on, but that slow start has been at the forefront for the Bravos.
And there just seems to be a better vibe among the team right now. They have that meeting before the game. Everybody's hitting the ball better during batting practice, but after each guy took their round, they gave a fist bump to the guy hitting behind them. They seem to be gelling more together as a team, and Coach Saltalamacchia was talking with each individual hitter after they would come out and do their round and make a slight adjustment or tell them something that they've been talking about over the first week or so. So I'm excited to see if what we saw during batting practice, and these guys were hitting the ball a long way, much different than what we've seen previously, if those changes can translate into the game.
There was an energy, there was an adjustment here pregame for the Bravos, and they bring in a new addition here to the lineup tonight. Ethan Conrad will bat second. Comes from Socrates in the PGCBL. Outstanding start to his summer, batting .469. He'll go from Marist and now be teammates with Merrick Houston and Joe Areola at Wake Forest this coming spring. He's an addition that the Braves desperately need right now.
And this is the kind of power bat that has been missing from this lineup so far. 9 home runs this spring at Marist, 18 doubles, 13 triples, which was a conference single-season record, including 4 coming in one game, which is an NCAA record, and the first time it would have happened in any level of baseball since the 19th century. So I'm very excited to see how Conrad adjusts with this group. He looked good during batting practice. He was playing in the Perfect Game League just yesterday, so we'll see how it translates here to the Cape.
Quick transition for Conrad. Takes the trip here to Cape Cod, and he'll be batting second here tonight. And Donovan Zach will be the arm for the Braves, his second start here tonight, Nathan.
And he looked pretty good in his first start of the summer, the draft-eligible rising redshirt sophomore out of Rutgers, a 4-pitch mix. And the big thing with Donovan his last time out was the walks. 5 walks across 3 1/3. Didn't give up a hit last Monday at Chatham. Gave up those 2 earned runs in the 4th inning, but 8 strikeouts as well. So we saw a little bit of both the good and the bad for Zach, and we'll see which side of him we get tonight here in Hyannis.
The Braves and the Harbor Hawks coming up here at 6 o'clock from McKeon Park, the second meeting in 2024. Don't go anywhere. First pitch and baseball coming up here from Hyannis. What a beautiful night for baseball here from McKeon Park. The 9th game here in 2024, and it's a West Division showdown and a much-needed game for this Bourne Braves squad. It's the Harbor Hawks and the Braves here on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. Alongside Nathan Schwartz, Cam Manna with you. Adam Gotkin will be with us in the second inning. But Hyannis and Bourne, last time they faced off, a 6-6 tie where we talk about the bullpen. The Braves kind of crumbled late in that one.
Yeah, 3 runs given up in that top half of the 8th inning. John Gazdar and Kane Kepley giving the Harbor Hawks those 3 runs in that top of the 8th inning, and what looked like it was going to be a victory for Bourne in which they would coast to, but then the top of that Harbor Hawks order was able to do the damage. Bourne thought it had a chance to respond and take up the lead back bottom half of the 8th inning. Merrick Houston tagged out at home plate trying to reach on a wild pitch, and then of course both teams score 1 in extras before the game ends in a tie. But this is a crucial game for both sides. Ever since the start of that game for Hyannis, they've been in a little bit of a rut. Bourne has been in a rut all season long, and this is a huge game for the Bravos looking to get back on track.
We mentioned how much the energy has shifted here for the Bravos tonight, but we'll start with Hyannis. Ryan Dromboski on the mound as the starting pitcher for the Harbor Hawks, and what an outstanding seasons he's had at Penn, the rising senior. This team's been 2-time Ivy League champs, and he was the Penn and the Ivy League Pitcher of the Year back in 2023.
Yeah, he had a very good 2023 first-team All-Ivy in addition to that Pitcher of the Year award. Numbers took a little bit of a dip this spring with Penn, ERA above 7, and he got roughed up a little bit in his last appearance of the year in the Charlottesville Regional against St. John's in an elimination game. But he's going to be making his second appearance of the summer thus far. It was last Tuesday against Chatham, which was that first one. He goes 3 2/3, doesn't give up a run on 5 hits, was able to limit the walks, only 1, and then struck out 4. All those numbers pretty good for his first appearance with Hyannis.
And the Braves, they've had 7 hits in their last 2 games. Let's take a look at their lineup coming in here tonight. Chris Stanfield back in the lineup. He'll bat first and play center field. Ethan Conrad, his first appearance from the PGCBL to the Cape. He'll play right field and bat second, and we'll get into the history that he's made so far at Marist. Merrick Houston, Ethan Conrad's new teammate at Wake Forest, bats third and plays shortstop. Jack Penny in the cleanup hole playing third base. Braden Holcomb bats fifth and plays first. Camden Kojal, he'll bat sixth and DH. Davis Gillespie batting seventh back in the lineup and batting .313. He'll bat seventh and play left. Matthew Gravelin bats eighth. He'll do the catching. And Clay Grady bats ninth, and he'll play second base here tonight for Bourne. Picture-perfect night for baseball here on this Monday. A new week for Bourne, a new week for Hyannis. The Braves come in 2-5-1, and Hyannis 5-2-1. Their second meeting, the first time Bourne will play a repeated opponent. And that comes here tonight in a crucial West Division game. Dromboski set from the first base side of the rubber. He'll work from the stretch as Stanfield digs his white cleats into the righty's batter's box. Game number 9 of the Cape League season, and we are underway. First pitch at 6 p.m. It's outside. 76 degrees and sunny here from Hyannis. Here's the 1-0 from Dromboski. Stanfield, a ground ball. Shaded towards the middle. Silva at shortstop. Takes 2 steps, fires to first. And it's in time for out number 1. And we'll take a look at that Hyannis defense. From left to right in the outfield, Casey Hintz will play left in his first appearance. He's a two-way. Kane Kepley anchors in center. Nick Groves in right. And from third to first in the infield, the ever-so-dangerous John Gazdar at the hot corner. Anthony Silva making that play at short. Mason White at second. Michael DiTallo at first. And Camden Janik is the battery here tonight with Dromboski. So here's Ethan Conrad, the lefty. First pitch swinging right at second base to White. And that's his second out here on the inning quickly. So we'll get into Conrad later on, but just quickly on him, triples. 13 this past spring, led the nation.
And that's coming off of a 2023 where he had 2. He loves finding the gaps, going down the lines. He'll put the ball all over the place. Pulls a ground ball right there. It might take him some time to get adjusted to this Cape pitching.
Well, only 3 pitches so far from Dromboski, and here's Merrick Houston with 2 away. First pitch to the righty from the stretch is Dromboski. It's a called strike. Houston batting .391 has been a cornerstone in this Braves 3 spot in the order. Went 0 for 3 last night with 2 walks. 0-1 breaking ball, check swing from Houston right up back at Dromboski, and he flips to first to end the inning. So what a quick inning there. 5 pitches, And Hyannis puts down Bourne 1-2-3 in the top half of the first. Your first looks at Donovan Zach. His second start coming up for the Braves, the lefty out of Rutgers. When you come with us next, bottom one here from McKeon Park.
Savor the moment with Portside Liquors. Discover a world of fine wines, spirits, and craft beer handpicked for every occasion. From rich reds to smooth spirits, elevate your experience with us. Unwind with excellence. Visit us today at 590A MacArthur Boulevard, where every sip tells a story.
Well, the Braves offense sees 5 pitches. They go down 1-2-3 in the top half of the first. We head to the bottom half here from McKeon Park alongside Nathan Schwartz. Cam Manna with you. And Donovan Zach, the man with the baseball on the mound. Nathan, his second start here tonight, the lefty out of Rutgers.
3 1/3 in his last appearance last Monday at Chatham. Didn't give up a hit and struck out 8, which was the good, the bad, 5 walks across the 10 outs that he recorded. He's going to be draft eligible, believe it or not, only pitching in 1 year of college baseball. He redshirted his true freshman season at Rutgers and then made 19 appearances with the Scarlet Knights this spring, pitching to a 4.11 ERA. And the stuff is there. 4-pitch mix, fastball, slider, curveball, change. You just got to see a little bit more of the control with the breaking ball early in the count here tonight.
Well, take a look at this Hyannis offense. Second on the Cape in average at .282. Kane Kepley bats first and plays center. Eric Snow batting .400. Bats second, he'll DH. John Gazdar, he's been balling, batting .414. He'll bat third and play third. Michael Tatalo bats fourth and plays first. Mason White in the 5 spot playing second. Anthony Silva batting sixth. He'll play shortstop. Camden Janik doing the catching, batting seventh. Nick Groves will bat eighth. And Casey Hintz bats ninth for his first swings of the summer. Kepley the lefty in. Zach the lefty from the windup. And bottom one underway. First pitch swing and a deep drive to right field towards the line. Conrad comes over and he makes the catch in foul territory for a quick out number 1. The pitching staff's trading punches early. And we'll take a look at the Braves defense. Davis Gillespie in left, Chris Stanfield anchors in center, and Ethan Conrad that first play in right. And from third to first in the infield, Jack Penny at the hot corner. Merrick Houston back at short. Clay Grady in the lineup at second. And Braden Holcomb plays first. Matthew Gravlin, the battery, with Donovan Zach. Here's the righty Eric Snow. First pitch above the letters. Bourne in their road blues with the red lettering and the gray caps, gray pants. And Hyannis in their home pinstripes with the orange lettering. And they'll go with the blue caps here tonight. Zach's 1-0. Back to the heater outside. And Snow batting .400 and RBI. Has got on base so far towards the top of this order for Hyannis. That's been dangerous early on, but have stalled in their last 4 games, being outscored 20-24. 2-0. Low once again from Zach, and that's the control issue that we've talked about.
Yeah, in that first appearance against Chatham, he was extremely heavy with the fastball. We didn't see the breaking ball until later in that outing.
Well, here's the 3-0 to Snow. Down Main Street looking to work back.
And so far we've seen that fastball be the main go-to pitch for Zach thus far. It really wasn't until that third inning where we saw the curveball last time.
He's 3-1. Skied in the air behind home plate. Gravlin watches it fly out of play. Those 8 strikeouts on 5 walks against Chatham in his first start. 6'3", 200, solid season at Rutgers, 39 Ks to 20 walks. And we talked about his age being draft eligible. Hard-throwing lefty, scouts love to see it. Works back here on a 3-2. Here's the pitch to Snow with one away. Fastball in the dirt. And it's a long walk to the USF infielder. Brings up John Gazdar, who's been phenomenal, batting .414 and a Brooks Wallace Award finalist this past spring.
And he had a great day against Bourne back at Dorn Park on Thursday. 3 for 4, 2-run homer in the top half of the first inning, and then that game-tying 2-run single in the top of the 8th.
And if Austin P., a redshirt senior coming up for him, stands tall in the righty's batter's box, feet about shoulder width. Zach from the stretch, first pitch, heaters in there for a strike. Your umpires here tonight, Mike Rabideau behind the plate, Donnie Smith at first, and Rick Force to do the third base work. Just a 2-step lead for Snow, a threat to steal off first base. Pinch ran last time against the Braves. 0-1 to Gazdar. Off speed is low.
He wound up scoring that, at the time, go-ahead run in the top of the 10th inning on the Nick Groves RBI single. And getting a chance to start against Bourne here tonight is Snow.
And Hyannis putting up a 3 spot in the 8th inning to tie that game. Went to extras, finished in a tie. Here's the 1-1. Blocked from Gravelin. Spiked in front of the batter's box, but Snow stays put at first base. And you mentioned Hyannis. We talked about how hot they were early. 4-0, outscoring teams 36-5. 1-2-1 since, being outscored by 4 runs. 2-1 count. Zach's pitch from the stretch. Gazdar skies one, shallow center field. Stanfield slipped, lost his hat, comes in, and makes the catch. However, you got to do it for out number 2.
Completely dry conditions here today at McKeon Park, but Stanfield just lost his footing. Got the day off yesterday and just getting readjusted to center field.
First time that he's had a day off this summer has been the cornerstone at the top of the lineup. Led off every game until last night. And brings up the righty Michael Totalo out of Dallas Baptist. His 7th game here tonight, batting just below 300. Snow off first base, no score. First pitch, past Gravelin, and just like that, Snow advances 90 feet. Also an issue for Bourne. It's the free passes, it's the wild pitches. They give offenses a chance to come through.
Yeah, it's been a lot of walks and hit by pitches, but there has been a good amount of wild pitches and pass balls that we really haven't diving into here on the broadcast, but it's been a problem for sure.
Zach's 1-0 from the stretch, fouled straight back. Went back to the fastball. But the walk numbers have been there for Zach at 5. Starting pitching, though, the last 4 games for the Braves has been spectacular. The bullpen has flustered, and that's what's been one of the downsides for this Braves squad through the first 8 games. Snow off second, 1-1 count with 2 away. Zach's pitch, Totalo pops it up, shallow right field. Holcomb back at first base. Grady comes over. Holcomb, the basket catch to end the inning. Conrad was coming in, but Holcomb, the athleticism at 6'5", 257, ends the inning. So Hyannis, no hits on 1 walk. Snow stranded at second, and after 1 here from McKeon Park, no score between the Braves and the Harbor Hawks.
Marty Chevrolet, your dealer for the people, proudly supports the Bourne Braves baseball team. See all our cars and trucks at martychevrolet.com and go Braves.
Hi, I'm Adonis Guzman, and you're listening to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Top of the second inning here from McKeon Park on a beautiful Monday night. Bourne and Hyannis tied at 0, but Adam Gotkin with us, scores around the major leagues.
We've got some great games set to kick off soon today, but no early starts, so just some previews right now. First off, the Guardians at the Orioles. That's a 6:35 first pitch. You get the second and third best teams in the American League going at each other. Pirates against the Reds in an NL Central showdown. That's a 6:10 start. The Reds last place right now in the division, but just a game back from the Pirates, who are in third. Blue Jays take on the Red Sox tonight at 7:10. Boston has won 8 out of 10 games. Braves take on the Cardinals in a battle of 2 of the most historic teams in the National League. That's a 7:45 first pitch. The Cardinals have won 3 in a row, but Atlanta has won 8 out of its last 10. And finally, another marquee matchup around Major League Baseball tonight at 9:45. The Cubs take on the San Francisco Giants. Giants do not yet have a probable starter yet and have lost 5 in a row.
And the Cubs coming off Sunday Night Baseball. It's a late start. We'll see if we can tune in after this one here from McKeon Park. Adam, thanks so much. And now Nathan Schwartz back on the mic as we get set for the top of this second inning. Ryan Dromboski on the bump, working from the stretch. 4-5-6 for the Braves. Here's the lefty, Jack Penny. First pitch breaking ball to the backstop. And Penny now going with that Notre Dame gold helmet for his last 3 appearances. Against Wareham, didn't use it in his first at-bat. Used it in his second. YD all of last night, he's used it. Goes from the 2-hitter to the 4 spot. 1-0. just above the letters from Dromboski.
We can't stop talking about this helmet. I mean, it just gets better and better every day. Yesterday we didn't get the everything package with it because of the clouds, but today the sun is shining right down on it.
2-0 he sees low, and it's just blistering down right in the helmet, just shining. The reflection of it as well. Matthew Gravelin, the Bourne catcher, was rubbing it a little bit last night. So 3-0 count. Bourne looking for a leadoff base runner after a 5-pitch inning on the offensive side. This one in there for a strike from Dromboski. Second appearance for the righty out of Penn. 3 2/3 last time out. Penny went 1 for 3 last night, the only RBI single for the Braves in the 8-1 loss. 3-1. Penny fouls it off, third base side and out of play. But a quick first inning for both sides. Dromboski working quickly, 5 pitches, 1, 2, 3. Donovan Zach faced 4 batters, but very efficient on the bump. No wind at the moment here from McKeon Park, which is not always a sight. Ball's flat from this ballpark. 3-2. Penny a line drive over the head of Silva at short. Almost a leaping grab just past the leather of the inside of his mitt. And Jack Penny, back-to-back nights with singles, and Bourne, a lead-off base runner. Now, coming in, it was 2 in 20 innings. Bourne breaks that streak.
And Jack Penny's been so good at the plate for Bourne throughout this entire season. The average might not show it, coming in at 227, but getting on base at a 320 clip. Had an RBI single last night, which was the one hit for Bourne for quite a large majority of that game. And as you mentioned, Cam, finally Bourne now starting an inning with some momentum.
And brings up the 6'5" righty Braden Holcomb. Back of the box with a runner on. First pitch, slider in there on the outside corner. Dromboski now working backwards as the middle infield pinches of Silva and White. 2-step lead for Penny at first base. First base side of the rubber is Dromboski. Highlight kick, 0-1. Holcomb fouls one back out of play on the first base side. Holcomb went 2 for 4 last night. Both of his singles were hit softly. One to right field blooped, and one was an infield single. But no strikeouts last night for Holcomb. That's been his struggle, and it's been a lot more selective at the plate. Down 0-2 in the count. Dromboski's pitch, ground ball left side. Silva can't backhand it. It's into left field. Looks like back-to-back hits here for the Bravos. Penny and Holcomb, and first and second with nobody out for Cam Kojal.
And for Braden Holcomb, going into that 6th inning yesterday, was 0 for his previous 14, and now 3 for his last 3. All singles. That one the hardest hit of the 3. Just snuck past Silva's glove on the backhand, heading towards left field.
Bourne threatening here against Hyannis, who has not lost a game yet this summer at home. 4-0, 1-2 on the road. Penny off second, Holcomb off first. Nobody out here on the top of the second, and no score. Here's the lefty Camden Kojal. Shows bunt, puts it down beautifully down the third base line, but just trickles foul. Bourne has been practicing bunting a lot during BP, a little bit more than usual, and Kojal there. Bunt for a hit, could use as a sack as well, and that one just rolls foul.
And we talked about this before the game came during batting practice, that yes, this team is practicing the bunts, but they've yet to be able to get them down. Anytime they've been trying it, they've either kept the bat head out in front of the plate or pulled back on what was called a strike, or it's gone foul down either line. But I would definitely expect Kojal to square again here and try and get those 2 runners into scoring position.
John Gazdar at third, even with the bag. Shortstop and Silva behind Penny at second base. Dromboski looks there. 0-1. Kojal shows bunt, can't put it down. This one rolls towards the third base dugout. So now Kojal has to swing in, batting 182, 5 walks, 9 strikeouts. Went 1 for 3 last night, did not strike out though. Him and Holcomb, both the rising Vandy sophomores, have been a lot more selective at the plate. Jared Saltamaki has been having more conversations with hitters. We mentioned early on in the broadcast the meeting with the whole entire lineup before the game. Another RBI chance. Still alive here is Kojal. Dromboski sets, looking for his first punch out. Here's the pitch. Kojal line drive right field. It's a base hit. Penny at third base gets the stop sign. Holcomb to second, and 3 straight hits for the Bravos offense. Last night, Bourne had 4 hits, 3 here tonight in the second inning, and with the bases loaded, it's Davis Gillespie.
And what do you know? What can a leadoff man do for your offense? Well, we saw it with Jack Penny, and hitting is a contagious thing in the game of baseball. We saw Isaiah Jackson talk about that with our beat reporter Sean Brennan after the opening day win where Bourne had that 6-run fourth inning. And right here, 3 straight hits to begin the top of the second.
Bases juiced, nobody out, no score here in top 2. Here's the righty Gillespie. First pitch above the Braves' letters. Gillespie, though, has been hitting the ball well. Went 1 for 4 versus Wareham 2 nights ago, batting .313, and now back in the lineup here for Bourne. Dromboski sets, big jam after a 5-pitch inning. 1-0. Gillespie at chopper foul at Scott Landers at third. He makes the play, and he'll throw it to the Hyannis dugout on the no-look throw.
I know he's been waiting to do that for quite some time. Hasn't gotten a lot of chances over there at third base with the foul balls this year. Makes the most of it right there.
And the Bourne offense with a chance here. They have to flourish. Holcomb off second, Penny off third. Kojal off first base. Here's the 1-1 from Dromboski. Gillespie, ground ball up the middle, could be 2. Silva steps on the bag at second, throws to first. It's in time. A 6-3 double play, but Bourne gets 1 on the RBI ground out. They lead 1-0 here at the top of the second.
And that's really the one thing that you wanted to avoid right there. You had some momentum getting the 3 straight hits with the bases loaded. Gillespie hits one really high. You thought maybe it had a chance to sneak through the middle, but Silva with plenty of speed gets over there. It does score a run, puts another runner at third base, but now it's tricky with 2 outs to try and get that runner home from third.
The Braves at 9th best offense. Here's the righty Matthew Gravlin. First pitch slider low and outside. Gravlin sticking with Ohio State. Off the portal, back with the Buckeyes. 2 for 10 so far this summer. His 5th appearance here for Bourne. Has Holcomb off third base. 1-0. Dips low.
And Gravlin pinch ran in the bottom of the 10th inning in that tie with Hyannis on Thursday. Scored the game-tying run on the Braden Holcomb fielder's choice.
2-0 count here for Dromboski. First base side of the rubber. The pitch. Fastball at the knees. 2-1. And what a wonky game. And that fielder's choice over the head of Janik, off the backstop at Bourne, and they threw out Holcomb rounding first base. That tied up that game and stayed tied. 2-1 count. Pitch to Gravlin. Ground ball at second, high chopper. White picks it up, fires to first, and that ends the inning. 3 hits for the Braves on 1 run here in the second inning, but Bourne strikes first here on the road against the number 2 offense in the Cape. After 1.5, 1 for the Bravos, 0 for the Hawks. Here on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Keystone Place at Buzzards Bay is Bourne's premier senior living community, conveniently located adjacent to the Cape Cod Canal. Visit us today at KeystonePlace at buzzardsbay.com.
Convention Data Services, or CDS, is an event technology company based in Bourne and a proud supporter of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Since 1986, CDS has been delivering customized solutions to the global trade show industry. Keep up with CDS at cdsreg.com, cdsreg.com, and follow them on Facebook and LinkedIn.
I'm Chris Stanfield, and you're listening to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Bottom of the second inning here on this Monday night from McKeon Park. We welcome you in to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network alongside Nathan Schwartz, Cam Manna with you. Adam Gotkin will join us back in the 5th inning. And a 1-0 Bravos lead. They strike first, Nathan, when it mattered most, but it's a double play on the fielder's choice.
Yeah, and that's something you want to avoid, hitting the ball on the ground with the bases loaded, especially with the corner infielders playing in. You never know if they're going to go home to the force, but luckily for Bourne, Gillespie hits it up the middle. Hyannis does make the play, but getting an early lead is such a big thing in all of baseball, and especially here for Bourne in desperate need of a win.
It's Mason White, 5-6-7 for Hyannis, and Donovan Zach back in the bump after facing 4 batters in the bottom of the first. Lefty on lefty here to begin. Zach's first pitch from the windup. Heater up and out. And if you missed it last night, Bourne lost 8-1, had 4 hits. They have 3 already here tonight. Coming in, 7 hits in their last 2 games. Zach, the highlight kick, hands over his head. 1-0. Fastball inside corner, 1-1. White out of Arizona, going to be a rising junior. Batted .305 this spring. 2 games so far here on the Cape, batting .333. Here's the 1-1 pitch from Zach in the attic. And we mentioned during the break, Gravelin is the battery with Zach. Ohio State, Rutgers, but the similarity, Gravelin did a home run off Zach this past spring. As Zach looks in here for the sign from Gravelin. 2-1. And White crushes one to right field, but this one hooks foul. Almost on cue for a bomb, but Gravelin did that off Zach.
And it helps in the battery setting as well because Gravelin's seen Zach pitch, both, of course, with all the synergy video and all that, but he's seen him live and has hit him well, and he knows how to work the count.
2-2 to White. Fastball just misses. Mike Rabideau calls it upstairs, and a full count here to White.
And in that start for Zach, which was the last day of the regular season for college baseball, that was the only hit and run he gave up in that start.
Such a small world. His 3-2, swing and a miss. Into the glove of Gravelin for his first strikeout here tonight. And Zach is well off the mound with some words for White. Walking over at 8 punch-outs, now some laughs as well. And Zach with some words. Yeah, you feel that intensity. These two squads faced off in the West Finals last summer, 3-game set. As Scott Landers comes out, it's going to tell Mike Rabideau they're barking at Zach. We're right here on the first base side behind home plate. We can hear all of it. So the chippiness, you'll love it here in summer baseball.
And it's funny because Zach wasn't on this Bourne team last summer.
White, just wearing the jersey.
Yeah, just wearing the jersey, wearing that number 5 for Bourne. Maybe just salty about the strikeout.
Here's the righty Anthony Silva with one away. First pitch, wave and a miss. 1-0 Bourne here in the bottom of the second. 0-1 count with one away. 6-hitter in Silva. Shortstop at a TCU. 0-1, up and outside.
And it just looks like Zach's in more of a groove, and he threw that first pitch fastball with some little extra juice on it and was able to blow it by Silva now with the count even 1-1 strike.
From the windup, he takes a deep breath. 1-1. Silva, a broken background ball first base side. He'll need a new piece of lumber. Hit .286 this spring for TCU. And some words here, Zach and Silva. Silva out to the mound with the baseball bat. Gravelin came up there and broke them up. Holcomb sprinting in. Silva not happy, and Zach with some words, now some smiles. All the umpires now convening at home plate as Silva walks back to the third base dugout.
Just a really weird situation right now. Zach just looks to be playing ball. He's just throwing the fastball in there, and now there's going to be warnings issued to both dugouts.
It's a packed night here from McKeon Park. Monday night, you start to get into the Cape League season. 9th game here. Second time that Bourne Hyannis will face off. One of 2 meetings here from McKeon Park. Bourne won't play here again until August. But Gravelin just talking to Silva, having some words, and seems like not a huge issue at the moment. Between Gravelin and Silva, at least. Zach steps off the mound. But it'll be a 1-2 count with one away, nobody on. And Silva's made some nice plays tonight at shortstop already. His glove, unbelievable. One of the best in the nation. The 65th prospect in 2024. Here's Zach's 1-2 pitch. Fastball up and outside. Just missing on a good frame from Gravelin. After all the pauses, playing baseball and maybe the longest inning, because we've seen some just quick innings so far here from McKeon Park. Zach waves his glove. 2-2. Hard ground ball right at Penny at third. Didn't have to move. Fires to first, and it's inside for the second out of the inning.
And just being able to execute your pitches. 2 strikes, keeping the ball down low in the zone, going to be huge for Zach. And that's something he was able to do against Chatham last week. Those 8 strikeouts that we've already talked about really helped him get through those 3 1/3 innings that he had. And so far, he's been very efficient.
And just like Sparks last night, the fastballs in his 6 strikeouts, Zach is similar. Fastballs are his punch-out pitch. As Camden Janik steps in, the catcher out of Illinois. Batting .313 so far through 4 games. Stands at the back of the Reddy's batter's box, bat on his shoulder. First pitch, breaking ball. just inside. All Big 12 first team at 356 this spring. Here's Zach's 1-0, the high leg kick. Back to that looping curve, up and in. Normal depth here for the Bourne defense. 1-0 Bravos in the bottom of the second with 2 away. Here's Zach's 2-0 delivery. Fastball. And this one gets Gravelin out of his squat. It's 3-0.
And Adam Gotkin, our sideline reporter, who you just heard from in the top half of the inning, relaying to me that Zach hit 98 in that last inning.
Goes with a fastball here on the 3-0. Now 3-1. This one middle, looking to work back. And when you talk about being draft eligible, a lefty throwing 98 opens the eyes of scouts. His 3-1 delivery. This one off the elbow guard of Janik. He'll head to first base. And some oohs and ahs. The warnings have been delivered. Oh, maybe some talks about the bat. Mike Rabideau is saying it is the bat right now. Janik will argue this. Man, some controversy here in the bottom of the second. You heard that, or at least from our angle, we heard that little slash, that tap. And Mike Rabideau will bring in the whole entire umpiring crew for the second time this inning to see if this is off the bat or hit by pitch. It's either ball 4 or full count.
And it looked like from our angle it was off the elbow guard. But regardless, Janik would reach base. And just seeing that Big Ten connection play out here.
And now Gravelin having another conversation with another hitter after an interesting sequence. Janik's walking down to first base, so he feels like he was hit. From our angle, that's what it looked like. We'll see here. They're going to bring him back. Off the knob of the bat is the call. But now they're going to look at his elbow. They're going to inspect his elbow to see if there's a bruise. He had the elbow guard, though, so I don't know what the bruise is going to be. He's saying I have the elbow guard. There's going to be no bruise. The Evo Shield doing its job, but they'll send him back to the batter's box. So it's going to be a 3-2 count here with 2 away.
What is going on? Just a wild second inning. We had a near fight break out in front of the mound. We've had what appeared to be a hit by pitch off the elbow guard right there, and then an inspection of the actual elbow, and then we'll reset here in a full count.
Man, what a interesting start here from Hyannis. So Janik will put back on his shin guard, his elbow guard, grab the bat. It'll be 3-2 with 2 away here in the bottom of the second inning. One punch out so far for Zach, looking for a second. And a pitch that has a lot behind it here coming up on an inning that has experienced a lot of different ups and downs for both sides. So Mike Rabideau says play. Janik set, Zach set. Here's the payoff pitch here in bottom 2. Swing and a miss. Donovan Zach with the emotions. His second punch out. And after a wonky inning, Bourne goes 1-2-3 on the Hyannis offense. And after 2 here from McKeon Park. Braves 1, Harbor Hawks nothing on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
You need to be seen for a minor illness or injury. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care is here for you with high-quality, full-service walk-in care. ER expertise meets urgent care convenience at our 6 urgent care centers, which are staffed by board-certified ER providers and located Cape-wide from Falmouth to Orleans. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care is open daily and offers a cost-saving option for everything from sprains to stitches, with timely treatment in under an hour for most patients. View online wait times at capecodhealth.org/urgent care. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care. Minor emergencies may...
I'm Isaiah Jackson, and you're listening to Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
A 2023 West Division Finals rematch, and you can feel it already here on this Monday night from McKeon Park. The Braves and the Harbor Hawks here on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network, alongside Nathan Schwartz, Cam Manna with you, and a chippy bottom half of the second inning, we had stoppages, we had warnings, we had controversy on a hit by pitch or off the knob, but Donovan Zach puts down Hyannis 1-2-3.
And it's just crazy to see that play out in a summer baseball game. These guys are here to improve themselves, and there's not really a whole lot of room for that drama, but nothing escalated too far. The innings have been issued. Nobody's been thrown at quite yet, and we're going to play baseball here to start the third.
We're playing baseball. 1-0 Bourne lead here in the top of the third inning. And the bottom of the Bravos order, Clay Grady, then to the top with Chris Stanfield and Ethan Conrad due up here for Bourne. And Ryan Dromboski back in the bump, his third inning of work. We'll have 3 hits in that second inning on the RBI double play for Davis Gillespie. From the stretch, Dromboski's first pitch, up and inside. And even that chippiness, too. You mentioned summer baseball. These guys aren't playing for these schools. It's a revolving door on what players are here during the summer. Just the jersey. 1-0. Grady drops one foul down the third base line.
It was Rutgers versus TCU in the box. There was no connection there that I'm aware of between those two guys, but I'm sure it just carried over from the previous batter.
1-1 count here. Dromboski to Grady. This pitch, called strike, painted on the outer half on a good changeup, 1-2. Janik, who was in the box, is a returner, but Donovan Zach, just his second start in a Bourne uniform. No punch-out so far for Dromboski. The righty had a pen. His 1-2 delivery. Fastball is off the mark. The 2023 Pitcher of the Year in the Ivy League. Went 3-5 this past spring, but Penn back-to-back Ivy League champs. His 2-2 to Grady. Outside corner. Good frame from Janik. Just misses, and it's a full count.
And I wonder if the approach aspect of this meeting that we alluded to with Coach Saltamacchia was just about taking more pitches, because the Bourne hitters seem to be doing that.
3-2. Grady line drive right back at Dromboski. Off the glove, maybe off his chin, but he makes the play. PFPs and knock it down like a brick wall. 1 away.
And just a really unlucky bounce there for Clay Grady. Couldn't have hit the ball much harder off the bat. Only 82, but it felt like a lot harder than that. It just drills Dromboski in the thigh, and it would have been a base hit up the middle if not for the pitcher. But now we go back to the top of the order for the Bravos.
It's Chris Stanfield 0-for-1 to begin. First pitch to the righty out of LSU, hit the portal. First pitch strike. But a hard hit from Grady. Does not strike out a lot. That's what helps as that second leadoff hitter. And Stanfield with 1 away. Down 0-1 in the count. Dromboski from the stretch. Now there's the slider. Swing and a miss from Stanfield. Way out in front. 0-2.
And one thing that is already way different for Bourne in this game, everybody went through 9 the first time around. Put the ball in play.
0-2. Swing and a miss. And right on cue, the broadcaster jinx. Jim Nantz would know that well. And Stanfield heads to the dugout. First punch out for Dromboski.
Well, can't win them all, right?
Can't win them all.
But still, that doesn't take away from what Bourne was able to do at the plate against Dromboski the first time through the order. It wasn't a lot of ground balls, but you had those 2 hard-liners by Penny and Kojal.
Here's the lefty Ethan Conrad, his second AB in a Bourne uniform, and he has swung at the first 2 pitches he's seen. He'll see a third here in his night, 0-for-1 to begin. But Conrad comes from the PGCBL for Socrates. Played 13 games, 5 home runs, batting .469. The obvious call here to Cape Cod. And for an offense that needs it desperately at the moment. Dromboski's 0-1, spiked, and off of the umpire and Mike Rabideau. He says he's all good.
And for Conrad, .330 last year across 33 games in the PGCBL for Socrates. A couple extra base hits, 15 ribbies, and we've already talked about his exceptional season this spring at Marist.
And transferring to Wake Forest, going to be teammates with Merrick Houston, who's in the on-deck circle. 1-1 delivery. Fastball off the mark, up and outside in the zone.
Conrad already donning the Wake Forest batting gloves, the black and gold.
Buying into what Wake Forest baseball is. 2-1. He dances out of the way, but it's a called strike on the inner half. It's 2-2. Also had a 13% strikeout rate this spring for Maris. Just stayed in the box, battled very heavily. 2-2 count. Bourne needs it here with 2 away. The pitch, and he chops one just foul, going fishing. He'll stay alive.
And Cam, you mentioned the strikeout rate. That was improved by about 11% going from his freshman season to his sophomore year. He struck out 25% of the time in his freshman year, and you mentioned it, down to 13% here in his sophomore year.
The lefty chokes up 2-2. This one lined to the Hyannis bullpen in left field. Dromboski goes inside on the heater once again. 1-0 Braves lead here in top three. 3 hits for Bourne. Those came in the second. And Dromboski looking for a 1-2-3. 2-2 once again. Curveball is low. And Conrad will not bite. It's a full count. Small shift on for Hyannis. Silva up the middle. John Gazdar at third. 5 steps from the bag. Dromboski sets. Can he put down Conrad? Payoff pitch. Low and outside. Ball 4. Went to the change piece. Just misses. And Merrick Houston, now the new teammate of Conrad, will step in.
And you can tell the patience there for Conrad. Even though he's been aggressive on the first pitch, he's still seen a ton of pitches. He walked 27 times this spring, and he's going to provide a 2-out base runner for the Bravos.
Houston 0 for 1. But 8 walks. That's 4th on the Cape right now. Speak of walks and not strikeouts, Houston's that guy. He's a first pitch strike. Walked last night, going 0 for 3. Also scored. That on-base percentage for Houston, well above 400. Dromboski from the stretch, 0-1. Blocked from Janik on the slider low and outside.
Well above 500 as well, 548 for Merrick Houston, who's walked 8 times across 23 at-bats this summer.
And a solid spring for him at Wake Forest, batting over 325. 1-1. Low once again. And the runner's going. Conrad delayed steal into second base safely. His first true play in a Bravos uniform. Delayed steal into second base. And the Bravos threatening here with 2 away, looking for a 2-run lead.
Conrad can do it all. He's got the speed. He had 19 stolen bags this spring. 19 his freshman year as well.
Dromboski looks at him. 2-1 to Houston. Almost clips Houston. Just backs out of the way. Hands in his air. But for Conrad, the triples, 4 in one game, has never happened before in college baseball. Has not happened since the 19th century in Major League Baseball. That's history right there on his shoulders as Dromboski looks back to second at Conrad. 4 triples. The rarity of that is more than a perfect game. He has a 2-step lead. Dromboski sets. It's a 3-1 count coming up to Houston. Here's the pitch. Fastball dips low. So back-to-back walks from Dromboski. Houston to first, Conrad at second. And here's Jack Penny, who had the RBI single, the lone RBI, last night for Bourne.
And the perfect person you want to have up right now at the plate if you're Bourne. Penny loves working the count. Sees a lot of 2-strike counts so far that we've seen this summer. And over the last couple of days, he's been able to put together some nice swings into the gap.
The lefty steps in, back of the box, wide stance. 2 runners on, 2 away. First pitch, low and outside. Penny stepped it up. 2-hitter, back-to-back games here tonight in the 4 spot. Hit .275 last summer here on the Cape for Orleans. Conrad off second base, Silva right behind him at short. And Merrick Houston off first. Dromboski's 1-0 pitch inside, and Penny likes the call. 2-0.
The patience just trickling along from batter to batter to batter, and these hitters are getting more patient as the game's gone on.
The adjustments on full display for Bourne, the 9th offense at the moment here on the Cape. 2-0 pitch, low, past Janik. Both runners will advance 90 feet. 2 ducks on the pond for the Braves, and a 3-0 count to Jack Penny. That meeting before the game from Jared Saltalamacchia, and the biggest thing he's talked about all summer into May when he came on the podcast, approach. Having an approach at the plate. And Bourne understanding Dromboski losing the zone here. 3-0 count with 2 away. You think Jack Penny here has the take sign. Waves the bat twice. Bat in his shoulder. Here's the pitch. Inside corner, a called strike. Maybe right at the knees to Penny, 3-1.
And now Penny still has full control of this box. 3-1 hitters count and he's likely going to get a pitch he likes if it's in the zone.
And 2 runners in scoring position. 3-1. Penning a drive, deep left center field. Kepley shades towards the gap in center and makes the catch to end the inning. So back-to-back 2-out walks for the Bravos, Penning 3-0 in the count. But then Ryan Dromboski gets out of the jam and keeps it at 1-0 Bourne. After 2.5 for McKeon Park, the Braves in front of the Harbor Hawks here on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Savor the moment with Portside Liquors. Discover a world of fine wines, spirits, and craft beer, handpicked for every occasion. From rich reds to smooth spirits, elevate your experience with us. Unwind with excellence. Visit us today at Portside Liquors, 590A, MacArthur Boulevard, where every sip tells a story.
I'm Caden Bodine, and you're listening to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
The Braves with a 1-0 lead as we head to the bottom of the third inning here from McKeon Park. Alongside Nathan Schwartz, I'm Cam Manna with you. Monday Night Baseball here from Hyannis and a crucial West Division showdown between two teams that know each other well. Some chippiness here to begin. But Donovan Zach back in the bump for his third inning of work. And 8-9-1 for Hyannis. Nick Groves, Casey Hintz, and Kane Kepley Duam. But a game tonight that means a lot for these squads. Hyannis stalling at the moment, and the Braves looking to snap a 2-game skid.
Yeah, Hyannis in that first 4 games, they outscored opponents by 31 runs, and they've been outscored by 4 in those last 4 games. So there's definitely been a shift since they traveled to Dorn Park on Thursday.
Well, lefty on lefty here. Zach to Groves. Shows bunt, pulls back in the first pitch. It's a heater up and inside. Groves had the highest walk rate in the country, 34 at Niagara this past spring, batted .326. Zach from the windup. The 1-0. Fastball, outside corner, it's 1-1. And he's done damage so far on the Cape, batting .385 with 5 ribbies. As that wide stance, back of the box. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fastball once again. In there for a strike, and Zach will keep pounding the heater, that time at 90, but perfectly placed.
Yeah, it's been anywhere from 90 to what Adam said, 98, right in the midst of all that chippiness.
That's a range for sure, too, for Zach. His 1-2, curveball, beauty. Third punch out for Zach, his third in his last 4 batters, and there's one away.
There's the curveball we've been waiting for. Fastball, curveball, changeup, that's the mix for Donovan Zach. And we've seen heavy with the fastball. Haven't seen a whole lot of the changeup tonight. But that curveball, when it's been there, it's been, as Cam, you said, beautiful. 75 down and out to get Groves from the left side.
Here's Casey Hintz. His first swings on the Cape. First pitch heater. Back in the zone, and Zach's working. His first backwards K. Had 2 by the swinging variety in the second inning. Hintz a 2-way, but came in as a pitcher for Hyannis. 1 for 7 this spring with Arizona. 0-1. Curve is just up top from Zach. A 1-1 count. Hintz had a 4.13 ERA. Went 3-1 this spring. 24 Ks to 12 walks, but hitting righty here tonight. In the lineup playing left. And the 1-1 inside. 2-1.
And just 7 at-bats in each of his first 2 seasons at Arizona. 1 for 7 this spring, 2 for 7 in his freshman year.
Zach from the windup. Hand over his head. 2-1. Skied in the air. Behind home plate. Graveline throws the mass. Holcomb calls him off. Sprints in and makes the 2-handed grab. Throws it down around the horn. 2 away.
Love the communication there for Braden Holcomb. Him and Matthew Graveline converging over in between the plate and first base. And Holcomb immediately, as soon as he says it, and you might have heard it on our crowd mic, I got it. And just the communication level is such a crucial part in any pop-up. And right there, Holcomb, still a young player in the ranks of collegiate baseball, makes the play.
Here's Kane Kepley, the leadoff hitter, and a first pitch curve at the belt. Holcomb 6'5", 257, charging in, has played right field for Bourne and left, so does it all. Zach's 0-1 pitch to the lefty and Kepley. 0-2, and back to that curveball. We didn't see Zach this confidence against Chatham. It was first pitch fastballs. Now working efficiently with all 4 pitches. Looking for his 4th K and a back-to-back 1-2-3. 0-2, heater, and just fouled off from the Liberty outfielder. Kepley lined out to right in his first AB. First pitch swinging to Conrad. And that one at 95, so we've seen that range from Zach. The upstairs fastball is 95-98. When he goes low and outside, 90-92. Waves his glove. Rock step, high leg kick. 0-2. Check swing. It was up top. Check down. He went around. Rick Force makes the call at third base, and that ends the inning. 4 punch-outs for Donovan Zach. This time the forwards K. He has 3 of those. And after 3 here from McKeon Park, Bourne with the energy and in front 1-0 over Hyannis.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Hello, I'm Cam Kozel, and you're listening to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Keystone Place at Buzzards Bay, Bourne's premier senior living community, conventionally located adjacent to the Cape Cod Canal. Visit us at KeystonePlace@buzzardsbay.com.
Well, Donovan Zach is dealing on the mound for the Bravos. 4 strikeouts in his last 2 innings. Puts Hyannis down 1-2-3 in the bottom of the 3rd. So we head to the 4th here from McKeon Park. And the Braves back with the sticks alongside Nathan Schwartz. Cam Manna with you. Adam Gotkin will join us in the top half of the 5th inning. And 5-6-7 for Bourne. Braden Holcomb, Camden Kozel, and Davis Gillespie, the 3 due up. But Zach's got it going in the Bourne offense last inning. 2 2-out walks, but couldn't drive him in. The stranded runner count just hits a little bit of a higher number.
Yeah, coming in, Bourne averaged leaving about 8 runners on per game, 66 over the first 8 games. So now that number at 69 after the Holcomb being stranded in the 2nd and then those 2 runners in the 3rd.
Well, here is Holcomb. Ryan Dromboski back in the bump. First pitch from the righty to the righty is a called strike on the slider. 1 strikeout for Dromboski so far. Has allowed 3 hits and a pair of walks. His 0-1 from the stretch. Back to the slider, low and outside. Holcomb 1 for 1 here to begin. Had a ground ball that rolled into left field past Silva at shortstop. It came back in the 2nd inning. 1-1. Fastball in there for a strike. But Holcomb now 3 hits in his last 5 at-bats. So getting back to where he started here early on. 1-2, swing and a miss. 2nd strikeout for Dromboski. And was going to say Holcomb did not strike out last night. That's his first here in this one through the first 2 ABs.
And that continues to be a struggle for Holcomb. 12 of those Ks coming into the game, and now his 13th. And those 12 were 2nd in the entire league coming into tonight.
Here's his Vandy teammate in Camden Kozel. Also 1 for 1, singled back in the 2nd inning to load the bases for Bourne. First pitch to the lefty, low and outside.
And what was funny about that at bat was he squared to bunt on the first 2 pitches. Both were fouled down the third base side, trying to get those runners into scoring position, but then winds up with the single.
1-0 to him, outside once again. And those bunts, one was a beauty down the line, just rolled foul. One fully foul towards the Hyannis dugout. But got on base when it mattered. 2-0, up and out. And a 3-0 count on 3 straight balls to the DH. We've seen the walk numbers for Kozel. He's done that, 6 so far on the summer. He steps out here as Dromboski put down his glove, picks it back up. 3-0 count, one away. Top four in a 1-0 Bourne lead. Dromboski's pitch, same spot, up and out. And a 4-pitch walk to Camden Kojal. Here's Davis Gillespie with one down.
6th walk of the summer for Kojal. Always feels like he's got one walk in every game. Is on base about doubling his average over the first 6 games he's appeared in. And that's going to continue to trickle up with him reaching base in both of his plate appearances to start.
And a righty in the Hyannis bullpen also warming up. 3rd walk for Dromboski. Here's the righty Davis Gillespie. First pitch, dances out of the way. It was up and in.
And Dromboski only lasted 3 2/3 in that first start, so we'll see if he can get through the full 4 or if the call will be made to the tall right-hander in the bullpen for Hyannis.
Kojal off first base with a 2-step lead. 1-0. Gillespie ground ball left side, rolls into left field, past the diving Silva. First and second for Bourne on a walk, and their 4th hit here tonight. And here's Matthew Gravelin with one down.
And Cam, we've been talking about this a lot, but there just seems to be coming into the game a lot of just one-off hits. A 1-out single, a 2-out single, or a 2-out base runner via the walk. But so far in this game, there's been back-to-back base runners, whether it's the 3 consecutive singles or the back-to-back walks in the 3rd. Now you see a walk and a single. The cohesion is starting to bleed through here in Game 9.
And it's being consecutive and contagious on the offensive side. Matthew Gravelin an RBI chance with 1st and 2nd. First pitch to the righty. Runners going. Janik throw to second base. Close call. Not in time. Gillespie in there safely. Kojal to 3rd. Janik's second guess. Looked at 3rd. Went to 2nd for the longer throw. Had a better shot at Gillespie, but slides in and almost falls fully on his back to get into second base.
And it was funny because Janik made the footwork to go to 3rd. Gravelin was a little bit in the way, and that's what forced the throw to 2nd.
It's an 0-1 count here. Gravelin, he'll pop this one foul out of play. And quickly 0-2.
And this is a situation for Bourne where they have struggled to bring home runs. They've been great with 2 outs, but with 1 out in a runner in scoring position, they just haven't been able to get that sacrifice fly or the base hit.
1-0 lead for the Braves. Gillespie off 2nd, Kojal off 3rd. Big spot for Dromboski as the corner's in for Hyannis. 0-2 pitch to Gravelin. Swing and a miss. Went shopping on the outside slider. And the 3rd punch out for the righty at a pen, and there's 2 down.
And Dromboski is pleading from the mound to get one more batter here in the 4th inning. He's going to crouch down and talking to his glove. I think his day's going to be done. Maybe he can plead more of his case when his manager comes out to talk with him.
We'll see if he can say, give me that baseball. I want to stay in here and finish this inning. But that's going to do it for Dromboski. The point to the bullpen, and that will do it on his night here at home. 2 away right now in the 4th inning, and 1st and 3rd for the Braves. Clay Grady in the box when we return.
I'm Nick Roselli, and you are listening to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Fire.
Marty Chevrolet is your dealer for the people and proudly supports Bourne Braves baseball. See all our cars and trucks at martychevrolet.com and go Braves.
I'm Matt McShane, and you're listening to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Second and third here for Bourne. Clay Grady in the box with 2 down here at the top of the 4th inning on a 1-0 lead. Ryan Dromboski, his night is done. He's responsible for the 2 runners, and it's Andres Galan here on the bump. The tall righty out of Cal, just finishing up his junior season. Went 39 and 2/3 innings with a 3.4 ERA, struck out 44 in those appearances. Had some starts and out of the bullpen as well, but finished on 6 1/3 versus Washington. Clay Grady, RBI chance for the Braves. First pitch to the righty, and he fouls it back.
92 in that first pitch fastball from Galan, who is coming into the game for the second time out of the bullpen this summer for Hyannis. First one was last Monday at Brewster, where he got the win after a 3-inning scoreless outing.
He's from the first base side of the rubber. The righty from the stretch. 0-1 to Grady. Upstairs above the Braves' letters. Bourne stranded 2 last inning on the base paths. Have second and third here. Gillespie off second, Kojal off third after the double steal. Grady with the bat on his shoulder. Galan sets. The 1-1 offering. Looping curve, and it just hangs upstairs. Couldn't get on top of it.
Very similar speeds with Galan that we've seen from Zach. The curveball in the mid-70s, fastball hanging out in the mid-90s.
Galan looks at third at Kojal. 2-1 with 2 away. Pitch to Grady. Outside fastball clips the zone, and it's a 2-2 count. So 2-2 with 2 away, 2 runners on here for the Bravos. Big spot for Galan and Grady. A matchup that's going to mean a lot as this game goes on. Bourne looking to break this stranded runner drought. Here's Galan's offering. Breaking ball. Grady launches it. Left field in deep. Hints back at the track. Makes it against the wall. Inches there from Clay Grady and gets robbed from Casey Hintz on the first few pitches from Andres Galan. And that ends the top of the 4th inning. Bourne gets 1 hit on 2 base runners. They strand them. And after 3.5, a 1-0 Bourne lead here on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Convention Data Services, or CDS, is an events technology company based in Bourne and a proud supporter of Cape Cod baseball. Since 1986, CDS has been delivering customized solutions to the global trade show industry. Keep up with CDS at cdsreg.com and follow them on Facebook and LinkedIn.
I'm Chris Stanfield, and you're listening to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Donovan Zach back of the bump for his 4th inning of work. Back-to-back 1-2-3s and 4 punch-outs for the lefty out of Rutgers. He'll face 2-3-4 in the Hyannis order. Eric Snow, John Gazdar, and Michael DiTallo due up for the number 2 offense here on the Cape. And a Bourne Braves 1-0 lead. They've stranded 4 runners in their last 2 innings. Lefty unready to start. Snow's 0-for-0, walked in the first. Beautiful night here from McKeon Park on a Monday, kicking off a new week of Cape baseball. First pitch in the attic. But Zach got it going, working backwards with his curve and his slider. Fastball up to 98. Second start in a Braves uniform. Here's the 1-0 offering. Fastball above the Hyannis lettering. It's 2-0. Alongside Nathan Schwartz, Cam Manna with you. Adam Gotkin will join us soon. Appreciate you joining us. Here's the 2-0 pitch from Zach. This one line from Snow, right up the middle, back where it came from in center field. And the first hit here tonight for Hyannis, and Eric Snow on the base paths for the second time.
The newest member of Auburn baseball, sending one to one of the recent former members of Auburn baseball. Snow just announced his transfer the other day to Auburn, sends it to Stanfield in center.
Stanfield now going to LSU. And here's John Gazdar of Austin P. But no slouches, Gazdar. Brooks Wallace Award finalist. 0 for 1 so far, but his second year here on the Cape. Batting .414 here to begin. First pitch to the righty, looping curve, misses upstairs. And this is where Hyannis starts to get going. They need a base runner on. There are aggressors on the base paths, and they love the heart of this order, led by John Gazdar. Two-step lead for Snow. Zach from the stretch, 1-0. Misses up and outside.
We've seen the difference in the speed with the fastball for Zach. So far when it's been down, it's been about in the low 90s, 90, 92. Right there, 91, but it was above the zone.
His 2-0 comes back to the fastball, but it's low at 91, and it's a 3-0 count. Only 1 walk so far, 5 in his last appearance on 8 strikeouts. Has controlled it here tonight with 4 Ks. His 3-0, this one at the knees. And back to that heater, 3-1. Normal depth for the Bourne defense. Middle infield of Houston and Grady. They are pinching up the middle. 3-1. Outside corner called strike. Gazdar threw his bat third base side. He'll pick it up. Not happy with the call from Mike Rabideau. As Gazdar steps back in. Zach's gone to the fastball with 2 strikes time and time again. Has gone to the off-speed once on a backwards K. 3-2. Snow is going. This one lined deep to right field. Back of the track is Conrad and makes the catch against the wall. So back-to-back innings, Grady for Bourne, and then Gazdar for Hyannis. Warning track power, and the first out of the bottom of the 4th inning.
And we've seen Conrad's speed that we've talked about with those triples and the stolen bases now play out defensively as well. He had that line out in the first batter of the game for Hyannis. He had a little bit more time to get over there this time, but he is able to make it to the corner for the first out.
Here's the righty Michael Tatalo. First pitch inside, and back to that fastball is Zach. Tatalo 0 for 1, popped out to Holcomb in foul territory on the first base side in the first inning. Snow is going on that 3-2, has a 2-step lead here. 1-0. Tatalo skies one. Deep center field. Stanfield back at the warning track at the wall, and he makes the catch in front of the 379 sign. That was hanging in the air, and Stanfield, his body language almost was saying that it was gone, but then nonchalantly makes the catch, almost gives Donovan Zach a heart attack, and there's 2 away.
I couldn't tell whether he had it or not, whether he was trying to deke the runner or if it was 35 feet over his head. Couldn't really tell right there, but he is able to make the catch, and Zach's using a couple of deep fly balls to get a couple outs. As just getting word, Tyler Fay warming up for Bourne in the bullpen.
As Mason White in the box here for Hyannis. First pitch to the lefty. Looping curve is upstairs. 379 to center, 324 to left, and 358 to right field. But a ballpark with the trees in the background plays smaller than it looks. 1-0. Check swing off the bat of White. Snow was going. He's back to first base on a 1-1 count. Solid outing for Zach, bearing down here. Tyler Fay would be his 3rd appearance. Pitched against Hyannis back on the 20th. Went 2 1/3. 3 hits, 2 earned on 2 punch-outs. Didn't walk anybody. He's a right-hander, so a switch from Zach, the lefty. His 1-1. Gravlin makes a diving grab from it going to the backstop, saving Snow 90 feet.
And a big part of trying to keep this shutout intact for the Bravos. And Zach trying to get through a full 4 innings.
A look at first, 2-1. Wave and a miss. And lost a hand off the bat was White. And just like that, Zach here a chance to face 4 batters in this 4th inning. 4 strikeouts. 2 came in the second and 2 in the 3rd inning. Glove with the belt, third base side of the rubber. A look at first, the 2-2, and it's fouled back from White. 4 hits for Bourne, 1 for Hyannis just coming in this inning. As Zach will ask for a new baseball. But the velocity has been there. We said that he's draft eligible. The improvement as well. over the spring at Rutgers just got better. 39 strikeouts, 20 walks. And here tonight has been feeling it. There's been some chippiness, there's been some delays, but Zach has battled through it all. Looking to get through 4. 2-2 with 2 away, and a Bourne, a 1-0 lead. Here's the pitch. Line drive right at second base for Clay Grady. And that ends the inning. So 1 hit and no runs for Hyannis, and Donovan Zach gets through 4 innings, his longest outing through his 2 so far here on Cape Cod. And after 4, it's a Bourne Braves 1-0 lead on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Keystone Place at Buzzards Bay is Bourne's premier senior living community, conveniently located adjacent to the Cape Cod Canal. Visit us today at KeystonePlace at buzzardsbay.com.
Hello, I'm Cam Kojal, and you're listening to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Top of the 5th, here from McKeon Park, and a lot of future major leaguers on the field for both Hyannis and Bourne. But Adam Gotkin with us. Here's your look at the Bourne Braves players that are in the league right now making noise.
A big night last night for Bravos alum. Starting off, 2014 Brave Harrison Bader, who's now with the New York Mets, went 2 for 3 with 2 doubles and 2 runs scored as a part of a 5-2 win over the Cubs on Sunday Night Baseball. 2015 Brave Keegan Aiken threw 1 scoreless inning for the Baltimore Orioles against the Houston Astros. He got a strikeout in that, although it was an 8-1 loss for the O's. 2011 and 2012 Bravo Chad Green for the Blue Jays went up against the Cleveland Guardians, went 1 inning scoreless. And 2011 Brave Kyle Farmer, who's on the Minnesota Twins, got an RBI in a 3-0 victory over the A's.
A lot of Braves alums, and Pete Alonso, the biggest name on that list. Limited time here in Bourne, not too long ago if you really think about it, and now making noise in the Big Apple. Top 5 here of McKeon Park, a 1-0 Bourne lead, and top of their order. First pitch is Stanfield, drives it deep to left field, hints back, track, wall, into the trees, goodbye. Chris Stanfield, going to be a future major leaguer in a few years. His first homer and the Braves' second here in 2024, and they take a 2-0 lead.
It was only a time before that power for Chris Stanfield started to show here on the Cape. 4 homers this spring at Auburn. He had 3 in his freshman season, and he was obliterating baseballs down the left field line during batting practice. He squares this one up to straightaway left center and adds on to that lead for Bourne.
And first pitch swinging with Stanfield of Andres Galan. And the first pitch here to Ethan Conrad is low and inside. But right on cue, Gotkin comes off the mic and solo shot there from Stanfield. Bourne their 5th hit, 2nd run as Conrad lines one right at Silva. Snow cone catch at shortstop for the first out of the inning. But Bourne, some solid swings here to start the 5th.
Just Bourne's offense as a whole, just hitting the ball so much better tonight. Only the 3 strikeouts through those first 4 innings. The long ball finally, the second of the year, and just the approach has been so much better at the plate tonight.
Brings up Merrick Houston, 3-hitter in the Braves order. Galan's pitch up top. Houston 0 for 1, walked in the 3rd inning. And once again, the walk numbers for Houston. Such a battler and a fighter in the box for Bourne. 1-0 from Galan. Slider misses low and out. Houston talked about some adjustments with Adam Gotkin, and we overheard with Jared Saltamacchia. The front footwork, not leaning too much on his front side as he pops one up first base side. Foul territory to Talo towards the dugout and makes the catch. That time for Houston, just jammed on the inner half for out number 2.
And a big thing Salty was talking about with Merrick was when he takes that load step, keeping that front elbow too high. And that's something that Merrick's been doing. And then when you bring that elbow high, anything on the outer half, you're just dead arms, trying to lunge at the baseball, and then you'll roll over a lot of the time to anywhere on the infield. But that adjustment, something he will work on.
Here's Jack Penny with 2 down. First pitch low and inside to the Notre Dame rising senior. 1 for 2, scored in the 2nd inning. Led off that inning with a single. as Gallant sets from the windup. 1-0. Fastball in. Bear down since the home run. Stanfield first pitch swinging. Conrad second pitch line drive, and then the pop out to Houston. Penny ahead 2-0 with 2 away. The righty's pitch at the knees, called strike. And Gallant stands very tall. Those around 94, 95 miles per hour. Out of Cal Berkeley. Sets his sights 2-1. Penny looks at an off-speed outside. It's 3-1. 2 out base runners for Bourne. We saw it coming back in the 4th inning. Stranded both. 3-1 delivery. And Penny fouls it back. We've seen Penny, too, in long counts here to begin. Had 2 strikes on him back in that 2nd inning for that single. As Gallant here looking to put the next 3 down here in the top of the 5th. 3-2, 2 away. A deep breath from the righty and the payoff pitch. Penny grounds one right at first base. Picked up from DeTalo on a knee. He'll step on the bag, and that will end the inning. But not after Chris Stanfield. Bourne's 2nd bomb of the season. Stanfield's first here on the Cape. A solo blast, and gives the Braves a 2-0 lead after 4.5 here from McKeon Park.
Convention Data Services, or CDS, is an event technology company based in Bourne and a proud supporter of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Since 1986, CDS has been delivering customized solutions to the global trade show industry. Keep up with CDS at cdsreg.com, cdsreg.com, and follow them on Facebook and LinkedIn.
Hi, I'm Adonis Guzman, and you're listening to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Marty Chevrolet is your dealer for the people and proudly supports Bourne Braves baseball. See all our cars and trucks at martychevrolet.com and go Braves.
Moving along here on this Monday night from McKeon Park, a 2-0 Bourne lead over Hyannis in an important West Division showdown. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning, and Donovan Zach, his night is done. 4 innings, 1 hit, no earned on 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts. And now the right-hander out of Alabama in Tyler Fay will take the baseball for his 3rd appearance on the summer. Has gone 2 so far, but his last one was his best versus the Harbor Hawks. 2 1/3, 3 hits, 2 earned, and 2 punch-outs.
But going back quickly to Zach before we see Fay in action for the 2nd time against Hyannis this summer. We talked about before the game, can Zach keep down the walks? And he did just that. And only the 1 hit allowed. That's now only 1 through 2 appearances, 2 starts for Zach this summer. And you could definitely say that this was much better and an improvement from his start last Monday at Chatham.
Will be 6, 7, 8 here for Hyannis. Anthony Silva, first pitch he sees, is inside. Camden Janik and Nick Rose to follow. 2 righties and a lefty, 2-0 for Hyannis. Phase 1-0, in there for a strike. Struck out 32 batters this spring, walked 16. And back to Zach. Stellar outing. Bourne, now the starting pitching of late, has been right where it needs to be. As the 1-1 in there for a strike on the slider. It's 1-2. We saw Adams, Bybee, Sparks, all solid outings. And Zach keeps it going. 1-2, and Fay keeps it going. First punch out of the bullpen, right where Zach left off with 4 punch outs. And there's 1 away here in the bottom of the 5th.
And for Silva against Fay, he grounded out to shortstop back on Thursday night. And Fay gets the better of him here with that strikeout. Fay was the pitcher of record for those 2 base hits for Hyannis in the top of the 8th back at Dorn Park on Thursday to tie the game.
Here's Camden Janik. Sees a first pitch strike, and back to that slide piece from Fay right in the zone. Works quickly from the windup. He's already said Janik almost asked for time on that last pitch. Janik steps right in, and Faye is ready to go. 0-1, low and outside.
Faye gave up hits to Gazdar, Groves, and Parker Brocious, who's not in the lineup tonight and was replaced by Areola.
1-1, right down Broadway on the heater.
And then Areola gives up the double to Kepley and the 2-run single to Gazdar.
Here's the 1-2 looking for back-to-back. This one outside. A mainstay in this order is Gazdar, but outside of that, a lot of movement for Hyannis. 0-for-1 is Janik with a strikeout. 2-2. Chops one right side. Grady at second makes the play. Shuffles, throws to first, and it's in time for out number 2. So quickly is Faye here out of the bullpen, working efficiently. And this is where Bourne now needs to make their push out of the bullpen. You have that 2-run lead. You expect more from the offense, but can't allow any damaging innings.
Yeah, and that's been a bit of an Achilles heel over the last couple of games. Yesterday against Yarmouth Dennis, that 6th run, 6th inning. It was 2-1 YD before that.
Here's the lefty Nick Groves. He's a first pitch fastball as Faye doesn't waste any time.
The game before against Wareham, you give up 6 runs with your bullpen.
0-1 from Faye, dips low.
And then you go back to that Thursday tie against Hyannis, the 3 runs that I just talked about in that 8th inning to go from a 5-2 to a tie.
1-1, inside corner in there for a strike. Faye pounding low in the zone. But those big innings, Bourne needs to stop those and rely on their offense to stay alive late. But Faye's 1-2, and he's going to hit Groves. The rush, quick step pitching for Faye doesn't work out there on the 1-2. So it's a 2-out hit by pitch. First time Groves reaches base. And just the third base runner here tonight for Hyannis. And now the 9-hitter Casey Hintz makes his way to the plate.
And the second time Groves will reach in 2 plate appearances he's had against Faye over these first 2 outings between the Bravos and the Harbor Hawks.
Hintz the righty after the lefty and Groves. First pitch, wave and a miss. Out in front is the Arizona outfielder and pitcher. Normal depth here for the Bourne defense. Holcomb holding on the runner and Groves at first base. Faye from the stretch, 0-1. Outside, Gravelin almost the snap throw. If you're just joining us, bottom 5 here from Hyannis, a 2-0 Bourne lead with 2 away and a 1-1 count to Hintz. Here's that pitch in there for a strike, and Faye relying heavily on the off-speed right now, and it's not let him down.
Yeah, that slider and the changeup for Faye working off of the fastball have been spectacular so far.
Looking for 2 punch-outs. 1-2. Up and in, just misses. Strikeout to start, ground out, and the hit by pitch. Looking to put down Hintz and get through 5 here for Bourne with the lead. Here's the 2-2. Inside corner, it misses. And a full count as Hintz works all the way back.
And now we'll see Groves go off on the pitch with the full count and 2 away.
Groves can move too, has some speed. Here's the payoff pitch. Runner going outside corner, and it's just off the mark. Solid frame from Gravelin, but Hintz stays alive, works back in the count, and it's first and second for the Harbor Hawks. Go-ahead run in the box in Kane Kepley.
And that's even bigger with 2 away. You face 8-9 in the order, give 2 free passes, and now Hyannis has the top of its order up with a chance to tie things up.
First pitch to the lefty, low and inside. That first pitch, change-up and slider for Faye. Kepley's 0 for 2, lined out and struck out back in the 3rd. Has Groves off second, Hintz off first base. 1-0 from Faye, and it's low in the dirt. You need Faye here to bear down back in the zone. As Bourne desperately looking to keep it where it is. High leg kick, 2-0. Fastball just off the mark. On another good frame from Gravelin on a few pitches that have just missed for the righty and Faye. Eric Snow waits on deck. Faye sets, looks at second, and the 3-0 delivery. Fastball, no doubt about it. 4 RBIs so far this summer for Kepley, the center fielder out of Liberty. Faye's 3-1 pitch outside corner in there for a strike. Kepley almost threw his bat, and Fay once again 1 strike away here in the 5th. Works quickly. Back on the bump, Kepley widens his stance here. And chokes up. 3-2, 2 away, 2 runners on. Fay's payoff pitch, line drive, left field. Coming in left is Gillespie, can't make the grab. Rounding third is Groves. The throw is not in time, gets past Gravelin. Here comes Hintz. Oh, and Hintz will go back. Sigh of relief, and the backup from Fay coming off the mound to back up Gravelin. So it will be an RBI that only scores 1 for Hyannis. And now a 1-run game with the tying run 90 feet away for the Harbor Hawks.
And a big break right there by Bourne. It was Jack Penny covering the third base bag. Instead of being the cutoff man, Gillespie's throw was way off the mark. Gravelin couldn't get there. Hintz probably would have scored if he decided to just commit and go from third to home. But instead, Bourne will cling on to the lead, but in danger of giving it up right here.
2 runners on for the righty, Eric Snow. First pitch, it's a slider up and outside. Snow 1 for 1, walked in the first, singled in the 4th. He was the only 2 base runners entering the 5th inning. As Scott Landers comes out here to talk to Tyler Fay. He threw that first pitch. You don't think he takes him out here to try to calm him down. Back-to-back 3-2 counts, 1 a walk, and then a big RBI for Kane Kepley, his 5th on the summer.
You got to remember, this inning started with a quick 2 outs. The backwards K of Silva. Janet grounds out to Grady at second base. Then it's the free passes that have just been killer for Bourne this summer so far. The hit by pitch of Groves, he came around to score on that RBI single. The walk of Hintz, he's at third base. And then that errant throw by Gillespie allows Kepley to go up to second.
Second and third. And that errant throw, thankfully Fay on the backup. 1-0 count. Fay set from the stretch. Pitch to Snow. In there at the belt. Right on the inside corner. Hyannis 4-0 from McKeon Park so far this summer. Bourne looking to do something that no one's done here early on. 1-1 pitch from Fay. Hard ground ball. Sliding is Houston at short. Fires across the diamond in time. Stellar play from Merrick Houston up the middle. Captaining the infield. And that ends the 5th inning here from McKeon Park. Bourne still in front of Hyannis 2-1 as we head to the 6th. And I'll hand play-by-play off to Nathan Schwartz. He'll take you the rest of the way here on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
You need to be seen for a minor illness or injury. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care is here for you with high-quality, full-service walk-in care. ER expertise meets urgent care convenience at our 6 urgent care centers, which are staffed by board-certified ER providers and located Cape-wide from Falmouth to Orleans. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care is open daily and offers a cost-saving option for everything from sprains to stitches, with timely treatment in under an hour for most patients. View online wait times at capecodhealth.org/urgent care. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care. Minor emergencies, major.
I'm Isaiah Jackson, and you're listening to Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Second matchup of the summer between Bourne and Hyannis in this West Division final rematch from a year ago. It's Bourne leading 2-1 as we start the top of the 6th here at McKeon Park. Nathan Schwartz, Cam Manna with you here. Jeremy Gay pushing the buttons all the way at the end of the table. On the opposite side of me, it'll be Braden Holcomb, Camden Kojal, Davis Gillespie to lead things off for the Bravos here in the top of the 6th. Both teams get a run each in that 5th. It was a leadoff homer for Chris Stanfield to deep left center field in the top half. And then in the bottom half, the leadoff hitter for Hyannis, Kane Kepley, with an RBI single to left center. Andres Galan back on the mound for Hyannis. He's already threw an inning of third in relief for the starter, Dromboski. First pitch, he throws to Braden Holcomb above the zone for ball 1. 81 on that breaking ball from Galan, the stout right-hander from Cal. Out of the line, here's his 1-0 pitch. Holcomb, he goes right past him for strike 1. And Now he's going to ask for the bat spray, get a little bit better of a grip on the wood bat. Part of this transition that we've been talking about over the first week and a half between the aluminum to the wood bat.
And just that top hand slipping off there for Holcomb. Big swing on that up and inside heater.
1-1 the count between Galan to Holcomb, the fifth hitter in the lineup tonight for Bourne. Braden's 1 for 2 with a single back in the second. A ground ball through the left side. Galan's ready to go. The 1-1 fastball, top of the zone, strike 2, clocking in at 92 miles an hour. Both Galan and Zach, very similar pitch mixes and speeds with the fastball and the curveball. And now the 1-2, Holcomb takes, and he's going to get rung up on strikes for the second time tonight. It was swinging in the fourth, and now he goes down looking to begin the top of the sixth here at McKeon Park.
And similar to Fay on the Bourne side, the Bourne's reliever, Galan now working quickly on the quick pitch, and Holcomb just not being able to rely on the timing. That switch up from Galan on the high leg kick and the slide step, and a really good off speed there. Gets Holcomb looking.
That was the first strikeout of the night for Andres Galan. And now Camden Koziel from the left side. First pitch upstairs, ball 1 to Koziel, who's reached base both times he's been to the plate tonight. A single, part of that bases loaded opportunity for Bourne in the second, and then he walked his last time up. Galan's 1-0, fastball again, but off the plate this time as Koziel works up 2-0 to the right-hander for Hyannis. Koziel with that walk his last time up, his 6th of the summer. He's been very patient at the plate. As the 2-0 fastball, again he's patient. He's going to take it for ball 3. Looking to be a one-out base runner for the Bravos here in the top of the 6th. Galan with a deep breath on the mound. And he'll fire in the 3-0 fastball, and it will find the bottom of the zone at 92 for strike 1. Koziel was 0 for 4 with a walk and 2 strikeouts on Thursday against this Harbor Hawks squad. And now Galan's 3-1 is fouled straight back by Koziel on the fastball.
And just off the mark there is Koziel. Timed it up well in the heater. But as you mentioned, seen the ball well tonight. Has had a lot of long ABs. Has been able to work back.
Koziel hitting .217 as of this at-bat this season. And now the payoff. Foul tipped into the mitt of Camden Janik behind the plate out of Illinois. And that's back-to-back strikeouts to begin the 6th for Galan.
And Bourne has now struck out 4 times in their last 3 innings. Early there wasn't a strikeout problem. 2 punch-outs in the 4th, and now 2 here in the 6th for Galan.
So right, left, right to continue this top of the 6th for Bourne as Gillespie will come to the plate, hitting from the right side. Mixed bag at the plate today for Gillespie. First pitch fastball called a strike at the bottom of the zone to Gillespie, the Southern Miss product, who's 1 for 2. Grounded into a double play with the bases loaded in the second. A 1 curveball swung on and missed by Gillespie, and Galan clicking on all cylinders here in the 6th. And dating back to that home run by Stanfield, he's been stellar. 0-2, this one way out in front of the plate. Janik keeps it in front as the count moves to 1 ball and 2 strike to Gillespie.
And he knows in that 0-1 pitch, that was not the 0-1 swing that he wanted, just chasing out of the zone on a good pitch that broke at the last second from Galan. But now you have to battle with a 1-2 count. Don't want to face here 3 straight punch-outs to Galan.
Gillespie 3 for 5 in 2 games against Hyannis this summer. Galan back out of the wind. His 1-2 offering, another breaking pitch, is fouled away by Gillespie.
And he's getting Gillespie right now just out in front on that front foot and just diving at the baseball.
It's been 5 in a row retired by Andres Galan. 3 balls in play in the 5th and back-to-back strikeouts here in the 6th. Up in the count 1-2 against Davis Gillespie. The pitch, another curveball, and another swinging strikeout for Andres Galan and Hyannis. Galan strikes out the side, and it's a quick 1-2-3 inning for the Bourne Braves at the plate. And for Hyannis, they'll send Gazdar, Datalo, and White to the plate when we come back on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Savor the moment with Portside Liquors. Discover a world of fine wines, spirits, and craft beer handpicked for every occasion. From rich reds to smooth spirits, elevate your experience with us. Unwind with excellence. Visit us today at 590A MacArthur Boulevard, where every sip tells a story.
I'm Caden Bodine, and you're listening to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Back here at McKeon Park for the bottom half of the sixth inning, 2-1. Bourne out in front of the Harbor Hawks, the second of 5 matchups between these two teams here in 2024. Hyannis has already been to Bourne once. That was a 6-6 tie on Thursday, the first of 2 matchups between these two teams here in Hyannis this year. There will be 2 home games for Bourne against the Harbor Hawks in July before the Bravos come back to McKeon Park on the second day of August. Tyler Fay back out there for the 6th, and the first pitch he throws a ball up and in to John Gazdar, leading things off for Hyannis here in the bottom half. 1-0 delivery from Fay, a changeup popped straight up, playable for Gravlin. He's on the edge of the grass behind the dirt, and he's going to make the catch for the first out.
Nice play there from Gravlin. The communication from Bourne a little bit comes right by the backstop and off the grass to make that play, and battling that sun as well behind home plate.
2 pitches and 1 out for Fay here in the 6th, and the first pitch he throws to DeTalo misses up. 0 for 2 on the day for Hyannis' cleanup hitter. A pop out to Holcomb and a fly out to Stanfield. 1-0, called a strike at the bottom of the zone, 92 on the fastball from Tyler Fay, the redshirt sophomore from Bama. 1-1. Change up off the plate for ball 2. Fay wasting no time in between these pitches. Pitch clock barely getting down to 15 before the next delivery. And here's the 2-1. Another change up, another ball. And just like that, a 3-1 count to Michael DeTalo, looking to be a 1-out base runner for Hyannis. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Inside-out swing. It's fouled away onto the soccer field beyond the bleachers here at McKeon Park. And it's a full count upcoming from Fay to DeTalo. Out of the wind, here's the pitch. Another inside-out swing, popped right to Braden Holcomb, who will make the catch in foul territory, says Donnie Smith over at first base. And that is a quick 2 outs for Bourne's right-handed pitcher.
And you like this here from Fay, bouncing back after that 5th inning, got into the jam with 2 outs, hit by pitch, a walk and a single, and comes in here, puts the first 2 batters down, but once again, another 2 outs. Fay here has to get the 3rd quickly.
Here's Mason White hitting from the left side. First pitch outside for ball 1. And what a year it was at Arizona for White. Pac-12 tournament MVP and on the all-tournament team. 1-0, swinging away and fouling it away to even this count up. It was 305 this spring with 19 homers, 10 doubles, 2 triples, and 65 RBIs on his way to an all-conference selection in the Pac-12. 1-1 to White. Another changeup outside for Tyler Fay. Last year, the Pac-12 as we know it, Arizona winning the Pac-12 tournament. 2-1, changeup this time will find the middle of the zone, and the count evens at 2s for Tyler Fay against Mason White. He gets the sign from the pitch com, and now the 2-2 delivery is another foul ball over the press box.
And White also the preseason 17th shortstop in the country.
A chance to be a high pick in next year's MLB draft. And now another 2-2 pitch on the ground to Holcomb. A busy man here in the 6th inning. He makes his second putout of the inning, and it's a 1-2-3-6 for Tyler Fay, bouncing back after giving up a run in the bottom half of the 5th. We're 2/3 of the way through here in the second matchup between Bourne and Hyannis in 2024, and the Bravos lead 2-1. Top of the 7th next on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
I'm Nick Roselli, and you are listening to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Fire.
Top of the 7th here from McKeon Park, home of the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. Bourne with a narrow 1-run lead here in the top half of the 7th inning, looking to get their 3rd win of the summer. Bravos come in at 2-5-1. Hyannis 5-2-1. Those teams tied each other back on Thursday. Andreas Galan back out there for the Harbor Hawks against Matthew Gravelin to start the 7th. Gravelin squares to bunt, cannot get it down, and it will be a swinging strike to begin the at-bat against Matthew Gravelin, who's 0 for 2 tonight with a strikeout. Galan in his 3rd full inning of work fires in a slider down in the dirt for ball 1.
And those bunts for Bourne just having trouble getting those down when it matters most, either sacks or bunt for hits to the leadoff man.
1-1 from Galan, another breaking ball off the plate. Janik tried to frame it up. Fellow Big Ten catcher behind the plate from Illinois. Gravelin from Ohio State in the box for Bourne. 2-1 from Galan. Heater outside corner, called strike 2. And now Gravelin will have to fight with 2 strikes. Gravelin's been struggling as of late, was 0 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts on Saturday against Wareham. 0 for 2 tonight with a ground out and a strikeout. 2-2 pitch from Galan. Breaking ball. Gravelin does hold the appeal down to first base. Donnie Smith down the first base line says Gravelin did not go, and the count works full to the Buckeye at the plate for Bourne. Galan gets the sign, and now the payoff to Gravelin. Fastball fouled straight back into the netting, and we'll get another full count offering in a moment. Gravelin came into the day hitting 200 across 4 games, 3 of those being starts. A couple of RBI singles to his name, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. Galan, a deep breath, gets the sign from Janik. 3-2 pitch, down low for ball 4. What an at-bat to start the 7th inning for Matthew Gravelin. And it's the 3rd time tonight where Bourne gets the leadoff man on. Both of those innings have resulted in a run.
And that's improvement here for the Bravos. And right now, too, this is where the offense can't get complacent and die out like it has in the past, especially that game against Hyannis. Right now, 2-1 is not enough. You need insurance. You saw the 3-run comeback in the last meetings between these 2 squads. So Bourne, leadoff base runner, first step.
And now Clay Grady to the plate for the Bravos. He's also 0 for 2 tonight. First pitch of the at-bat from Galan. Fastball above the Bourne lettering on that navy blue jersey for Clay Grady, and it will be 1-0. Hyannis going with the all whites with the blue pinstripes. Bourne with the navy tops, the gray pants. Gravelin, a narrow lead off of first. 1-0. Grady takes, it's ball 2. And for Bourne tonight, we talked about the leadoff runners. Penny leads off the 2nd with a single. He came around to score on that double play. Chris Stanfield leads off the 5th with a solo home run. That speaks for itself. Those are the only 2 runs tonight for Bourne. And Cam, you mentioned coming into the game, over the previous 20 innings, dating back to Friday night against Falmouth, only 2 of the 20 leadoff men to come to the plate had reached base.
Yeah, and that was something that Bourne had to change here tonight. And there was a lot of things you wanted to see shift, but an inning can't come together and have a big blast on 2-3 runs. You're trying to get the offense going. Without that first guy on, it does so much, especially for Bourne, who wants to steal bases. They want to play some small ball. You work so much better. You work so much more freely with the leadoff base runner on. So having Gravelin here and now Grady up 2-0 in the count, a lot of options here for Scott Landers.
A mound visit between Galan and the Hyannis pitching coach. It was also a base runner meeting between Scott Landers, Quinn Stromberg, the first base coach, Gravelin, the runner at first, and Grady, the man at the plate. A potential bunt scenario, a sacrifice for Grady to get Gravelin an insurance run for Bourne in scoring position. Galan readies after the delay. Here's his 2-0 pitch, spiked. Janik able to keep it in front, and Grady works the count, 3 balls and no strikes, still nobody out here in the top half of the 7th, as Hyannis starts to get a southpaw loose in its bullpen. Here's Galan's 3-0. Fastball this time. It does find the outside corner at 92 for strike one. Grady, the number 9 hitter, playing second base tonight, looking for his first appearance on the base paths. Chris Stanfield, the leadoff hitter, with that home run his last time up, standing in the on-deck circle. Gravlin leads off of first. There he goes on the 3-1, but it's ball 4 anyway. He would have been out by a mile if that was a strike. So good news for Bourne. 2 base runners to begin this 7th inning. 2 walks for Gravlin and Grady, the bottom 2 hitters in the order. And now a perfect opportunity for Bourne to add to this lead.
You like the steal there. It sticks with what Bourne wants to do, but, man, if that's a strike, it just changes the inning right there, especially, you almost take the bat out of Grady's hands in a spot like that if you do it earlier. But it works out for Bourne with the walk.
Now Chris Stanfield at the plate. Moonshot to left center his last time up. Galanto's the rubber. Stanfield squares. Popped up the bunt, but it's going to drop in fair territory, then roll foul. Great heads-up play by Gazdar, the third baseman, to just let that one go.
And, man, if that one was popped up a little higher, Janik makes the play. Gravlin was way off the bag at second. Double play right there. And bunting once again. It seems like such a simple task, but it's tough to do sometimes, especially when to bunt a slider, to bunt a ball that's elevated like that one was in the zone to Stanfield. But if he does it again, you have to get it down right now.
And another aspect where maybe it's the wood bat coming to play a factor. Stanfield now down in the count 0-1 following the foul ball. Runners on second and first. He does not square, but it's going to take strike 2, a fastball at the bottom of the zone at 93. It's the fastest fastball we've seen tonight from Galan. And now Stanfield down in the count, no balls, 2 strikes. Coach Landers giving him a sign from the third base coach's box. Stanfield pulls the wristband out of his back pocket. Gravlin leads off a second, Grady off a first, the 2 leadoff base runners for Bourne, and we have a pitch clock violation on the pitcher, Galan, giving Stanfield an added ball to the at-bat, so the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bourne leads 2-1 here, top 7. Looking to add to the lead and pick up its 3rd win of the year. 1-2 pitch to Stanfield in the dirt. Janik blocks. The throw will go to second base. No tag applied by Mason White covering the bag. And they're going to call interference, I believe, on Chris Stanfield. And there's nothing he could have done right there. Janik blocked the ball. It then kicked off the dirt and hit Stanfield. Then Janik, just instead of throwing to third to try and get the lead runner, Gravlin, throws to second base to get Grady. And our home plate umpire tonight in Mike Rabideau is going to send those runners back to second and first base.
I'm surprised that Scott didn't have a few more words to argue there with Mike Rabideau. Stanfield did not move a muscle. That ball hit him. It went ground right into his chest. There's nothing that Stanfield could have done unless he just completely became invisible. So tough play there, and would have been a perfect double steal ball in the dirt.
So now the runners back to second and first base. 2-2 count. Nobody out in the top of the 7th. Here's Galan's pitch. Fastball sent the other way and foul by Stanfield. And that changes the complexion of this inning. You would have had runners on second and third with nobody out. And if Stanfield could potentially draw a walk or get hit by a pitch, he'd be at first base and you had the bases loaded. Or even a base hit would bring in 2 runs. Gravlin's still in scoring position, though, at second. Grady leads off of first. 2-2 pitch to Stanfield. Fastball shot the other way. It's into right field for a base hit. Gravlin will get the stop sign at third base by Coach Landers. The throw does come home. It's blocked by Janik. And Chris Stanfield, stay hot. Back-to-back at-bats with a hit. The homer in the 5th and the single on a 2-2 count here in the top of the 7th. And the Bravos will have the bases loaded with nobody out for the 2nd time tonight as Hyannis will make a move.
Well, it could have been second and third on an RBI there, but, you can't play the what-if game. Stanfield there gets the bases loaded. You got nobody out here for Ethan Conrad. Prime chance for Bourne. You're in the 7th. You lead by 1. This is a big chance as the Harbrocks go to the bullpen for the Braves to get some late-game insurance, something we have not seen yet.
Galan out. New pitcher coming into the game for Hyannis. The Bravos will have the bases loaded. trying to add on to this 2-1 lead when we come back on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Keystone Place at Buzzards Bay, Bourne's premier senior living community, conventionally located adjacent to the Cape Cod Canal. Visit us at keystoneplace at buzzardsbay.com.
I'm Matt McShane, and you're listening to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Marty Chevrolet, your dealer for the people, proudly supports the Bourne Braves baseball team. See all our cars and trucks at martychevrolet.com and go Braves.
Bases loaded, nobody out, top of the 7th, 2-1 Bourne advantage, and the Bravos looking to add to that run total. And they'll face the new pitcher, the southpaw from Arizona State, Sean Fitzpatrick, who actually did throw a scoreless inning against Bourne on Thursday.
And the lefty has a little bit of a closed stance on the mound and comes around. And we're watching his warm-up pitch right here. Closes his stance completely. He'll hide the baseball and then come around almost about a sidearm, about, I'd probably say a fourth a little bit.
Three-quarter slot.
Yep, and he'll face the lefty in Conrad that has perfect platoon move here for Hyannis, and the most trouble will be for a lefty in Conrad.
Conrad has hit the ball well tonight in his first game in a Braves uniform, but he's 0 for 2 with a walk. He has a chance with the bases loaded and nobody out to add to this lead for Bourne. First pitch of the day from Fitzpatrick. Line drive to left field. It's going to fall in front of Hintz, and it's a base hit for Ethan Conrad. Gravelin in. Grady in. It's a 2-run single for Ethan Conrad. What a way to introduce yourself to the Bourne faithful. And it's 4-1 Bravos.
However you get it done there for Conrad, that's an inside pitch. Jammed it over the head of Gazdar at third and got a nice bounce in left. Kind of dipped away from Hintz towards the line. And scores, too. Huge for Conrad. And as we were brought up and just said by Nathan, introducing himself to Bourne on a much-needed 2 RBI single.
And the inning far from over yet. Merrick Houston to the plate with 2 runners on and nobody out. First pitch from Fitzpatrick above the zone, ball 1. And Ethan Conrad picking up right where he left off with Socrates in the Perfect Game League, where he hit .469 across 13 games to begin this summer. Now Stanfield leads off of second base. Conrad off of first for Houston, looking for his first hit tonight. 1-0. Slider finding the middle of the plate for strike 1. Merrick Houston looking to leave a mark in his final game with the Bravos before heading to Cary, North Carolina for the Team USA collegiate training camp that starts on Wednesday. 1-1 from Fitzpatrick. Another slider down in the dirt for ball 2. 3 Bourne players on that roster. Merrick Houston, Caden Bodine, Miller Green. Bodine has already left. Miller Green threw 2 2/3 last night at Yarmouth Dennis. Fitzpatrick looking back at Stanfield, who leads off a second. 2-1 to Houston. Called a strike, and Merrick wants that pitch back. Fastball in the inner half at 89 miles an hour. It's not blow past you speed with that fastball. But now Merrick will have to fight. He'll choke up on the bat with the count even at 2s. Both runners go. It's above the zone for ball 3. The throw goes to second, and that runner's going to be out. Camden Janik has been throwing down to second all night long, And this time he finally gets the back runner, Ethan Conrad, out at second on the double steal attempt.
And you don't mind that steal at all. And we actually had a fan behind us tell us that exact thing on the throws to second from Janik. But helps out Bourne. Now 90 feet away is Stanfield. And now with really one out right now for Houston, you see contact.
Infield in for Hyannis. Payoff pitch to Houston. Outside ball 4. And Merrick Houston has just been a walk merchant to begin the summer here for the Bravos. That's his second base on balls tonight. His 10th of the summer in just 8 games. And once again, Bourne will have 2 runners on the base pass, this time on the corners with one away for Jack Penny wearing that golden helmet.
And these are walks for Houston where he's battling, and you said that he missed a pitch he wanted back. He fouled off pitches, worked in the count, not going away. Has such a eye for the baseball in the box for Houston. You love to see it.
Stanfield at third, Houston at first. One away, 4-1 Bourne lead. First pitch to Penny, bunted to the right side. Fitzpatrick's only plays at first. The play will be made, but what a bunt by Jack Penny. It'll go down as an RBI ground out to bring home Chris Stanfield and extend the lead to 5-1 in favor of the Bravos.
Sack bunt to perfection there for Penny, and brings home that run, and you love that there from Scott Landers. You understand the importance of insurance and how important it is in these last 2 games where you've needed it most. And the Braves now a 5-1 lead, and that bunt is going to be crucial here down the stretch.
And now the inning still not over yet. Runner at second base in Merrick Houston for Braden Holcomb. First pitch below his knees for ball 1. It's been a 3 spot for the Bravos here in the 7th inning. The 2-run single for Ethan Conrad, and then the RBI on the sacrifice bunt right there for Jack Penny. Fitzpatrick looks back at Houston leading off his second base. The 1-0 to Holcomb. Fastball at the top of the zone to even the count. You rarely see the sack bunt lead to an RBI. But a safety squeeze worked to perfection right there for Jack Penny, hitting in that cleanup spot. 1-1 from Fitzpatrick. Slider just off the plate, and Holcomb shaking his head. He's got a good feel for the strike zone right now.
Back-to-back good spots from Fitzpatrick. Went up and on the fastball, almost unhittable on a good strike, and that one just misses low and out on the off-speed.
Holcomb started his day at the plate with a single back in the second. Has struck out in his last 2 at-bats. 2-1. Fastball again off the outside corner at 90. And Holcomb works the count to 3 balls and 1 strike in his search of a 4th walk this summer. Bourne leads by 4. One of its largest leads of the season. Fitzpatrick deals the 3-1. And it's inside for ball 4. Another great at-bat worked by a Bourne hitter tonight. It's the 4th walk issued by a Hyannis pitcher here in the top of the 7th. And it's going to put runners on second and first with 2 away for Camden Kojal.
And there's the improvement for Holcomb time and time again. Back-to-back at-bats with strikeouts, comes back here, finds his pitch, waits for his pitch, didn't see it, so it results in that walk. Not chasing outside of the zone and helping out Fitzpatrick.
Kojal will be the 8th hitter of the inning for the Bravos. 2 runners on, 2 away. First pitch from Fitzpatrick, a called strike on the outside corner. In that game on Thursday, Fitzpatrick threw the 7th inning and didn't give up a hit. He got Grady to fly out, Stanfield to fly out, and then Janik helped him out by catching a runner stealing. Line drive right back to Fitzpatrick. Look what I found, he says, coming off the mound. And that is a huge out recorded for Hyannis. That could have been another RBI for Bourne. But the Bravos get 3 additional. It's now a 5-1 Bourne lead heading into the bottom half of the 7th inning. And you're listening to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Convention Data Services, or CDS, is an events technology company based in Bourne and a proud supporter of Cape Cod baseball. Since 1986, CDS has been delivering customized solutions to the global trade show industry. Keep up with CDS at cdsreg.com and follow them on Facebook and LinkedIn.
Savor the moment with Portside Liquors. Discover a world of fine wines, spirits, and craft beer, handpicked for every occasion. From rich reds to smooth spirits, elevate your experience with us. Unwind with excellence. Visit us today at Portside Liquors, 590A, MacArthur Boulevard, where every sip tells a story.
Much needed runs for Bourne in the top half. A 2-run single for the new guy, Ethan Conrad, and an RBI on a sac bunt by Jack Penny gives Bourne a 5-1 advantage as we start the bottom half of the 7th inning here from McKeon Park. Nathan Schwartz, Cam Manna with you here tonight on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. Tyler Fay, first pitch of the inning, is crushed to left, sending Gillespie back, and this is going to one-hop off the wall. And just like that, a leadoff double for Anthony Silva in the bottom half of the 7th.
First pitch swinging, and Fay has had a lot of first pitch strikes that have been middle in the zone, and Silva not wasting any time, getting his offense going, trailing by 4.
Bourne had an eerily similar lead to Hyannis on Thursday night at Dorn Park, 5-2 going into the top of the 8th inning in that matchup. Now 5-1 here in the bottom of the 7th. Leadoff runner for Hyannis. Silva stands at second base for Camden Janik at the plate. First pitch he sees, fastball above his shoulders for ball 1. Janik tonight, the catcher, who threw out a runner in that top half of the 7th. 0 for 2 at the plate with a strikeout and a ground out. Had the controversy back in the 2nd on a pitch that looked like hit his elbow guard, but then was ruled a strike with a foul ball. Swinging on the 1-0 is Janik to the right center gap. Conrad racing over to the gap. He makes the play, now throws to third. It's going to be close, but Silva able to beat it out. And Ethan Conrad putting together a clinic here in his first game with Bourne. The appeal to second base to see if Silva tagged up will not work in Bourne's favor. So Silva tags on the fly out by Janik. And the second run of the day for Hyannis stands at third base for Nick Groves.
And a good piece of hitting there from Janik in a spot like this where you're desperate for a run and just goes the other way, fly ball. You almost thought it was too shallow for the tag, but the speed from Silva to the third.
So Fay out of the stretch, first pitch to Groves on a one-hop to Clay Grady at second base. And Bourne will trade the out for a run. It's an RBI on the 4-3 for Nick Groves. Silva scores, and it's now 5-2.
Well, now you make it that 3-run game, and you do it pretty efficiently, but you do it now with the 2 outs on the inning and not the exact inning you wanted for Hyannis based on the way it started for Silva, but you get the run in, and you'll take the run when you can get it late in a game like this. You make it a 3-run ball game.
Pinch hitter for Hyannis. It'll be Wallace Clark coming to bat for Casey Hintz, who started the game in left field, the two-way player for the Harbor Hawks. Clark taking on the first pitch, and it's going to be a strike for Fay. Clark, the senior at Duke, hits from the left side. The 0-1. Called a strike at the bottom of the zone, and Fay working quickly. Up 0-2 against Clark, the pinch hitter, who was 1 for 3 with a walk and 2 strikeouts against Bourne on Thursday. Here's Fay's 0-2, and that's 3 pitches for a strikeout to Wallace Clark. Tyler Fay does give up an RBI ground out to Nick Groves, but cruises through that bottom half of the 7th inning. It's 5-2 Bourne as we head to the 8th here on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Keystone Place at Buzzards Bay is Bourne's premier senior living community, conveniently located adjacent to the Cape Cod Canal. Visit us today at KeystonePlace@buzzardsbay.com.
I'm Chris Stanfield, and you're listening to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Top half of the eighth, starting here from McKeon Park in Hyannis. Bourne leads 5-2. Nathan Schwartz and Adam Gotkin with you here for the mid-inning Cape League update from Mr. Gotkin.
Only 2 games around the Cape right now because 4 teams off today. Falmouth, Cotuit, Wareham, and Orleans all not playing tonight. Let's start off in the East. Brewster against YD. That was a 5-3 Red Sox victory. Phoenix called a 2-run home run. That was the icing on the cake for YD, who is now way in the top of the league in the standings, 7-2 with 3 straight victories. The other game going on tonight in the top of the 6th inning, Harwich with a 4-1 lead over Chatham. Ryan Weingartner, had a 2-run home run in that game for the Mariners. Chatham started to fall off a little bit after a hot start.
Thank you, Adam, for that update. Brewster, the opponent tomorrow for Bourne. It'll be the second time that the Bravos will face off against the Whitecaps this summer. Brewster now 3-6. Bourne, if the score holds, would be 3-5-1. So a matchup that could be in place for 2 teams that would stand in 4th place in their respective divisions, as Steve Solorzano will be the new pitcher here for Hyannis to begin the top half of the 8th.
And the teams now, you move on to the season, you see those 3 games instead of having more in a day. You see those not full league off days, just certain teams having the day off, as Bourne will have that on Wednesday.
First pitch of the inning from Solorzano is popped up foul by Gillespie, who was the lone batter for Bourne not to hit in that 3-run 7th inning. And he's down in the count 0-1. Gillespie tonight 1 for 3 with that single back in the 4th inning against the starter, Drumboski. Solorzano taking his time between pitches. Here's the 0-1. Fastball just off the plate, 90 miles an hour for ball 1 to even the count. Gillespie came up with the bases loaded in the 2nd, grounded into a 6-3 double play. 1-1 from the righty, grounded up the middle, and Davis Gillespie quietly having a great start to the season. A long turnaround first, but he'll retreat back. 2 hits tonight for Davis Gillespie after a multi-hit performance on Thursday against Hyannis.
Seeing the baseball very well, and you wonder, too, here for Scott Landers, you have a lot of outfielders, guys need playing time, but is Gillespie going to be a guy that you got to keep him in the lineup with the way that he's been swinging the baseball? You have Stanfield in center, who's been playing well, Conrad, too, so it's that spot in left right now that's fully up for grabs.
Braden Holcomb can play everywhere. He's been pretty consistent at the plate recently. Now Matthew Gravlin at the plate for Bourne, heading in that number 8 spot. First pitch from Solorzano above the zone. But in terms of the outfield, you also have Landon Viderick and Isaiah Jackson. Both have struggled at the plate. Viderick, of course, had that grand slam on Friday night, but other than that, not a whole lot at the plate. 1-0. Breaking ball at the shoulders of Matthew Gravlin in the box, and he works up 2-0. But just a ton of options for Scott Landers and the rest of this coaching staff. The infield options not so deep, especially with Merrick Houston leaving for Team USA. Throw over to first, and back is Gillespie.
And with Gillespie being this hot, you think maybe it's 2 days with Gillespie in a row, and then Jackson and Viderick both come in with Conrad at times, but you got to keep Gillespie in the lineup as much as possible with how he's hitting.
Fastball just off the plate. And the count, 3 balls and no strikes. Solorzano on the mound for Hyannis to begin this top half of the 8th inning, replacing Fitzpatrick, who went the full 7th. 3-0. Gravlin taking all the way, had the red light, and it's going to be a 3-1 count now to the Buckeye, who entered the portal last week and then withdrew after the hiring of Justin Hare from Campbell. Gillespie leads off of first. Solorzano checking. And he'll go to the plate on the 3-1. Gravlin sends it to right. Nick Groves out there for Hyannis is going to make the grab for the inning's first out.
And now you wonder for Scott Landers, is Gillespie moving here with one out? Clay Grady to the plate. We've seen him do. We saw the multiple steals tonight, the double steal, one of them not working out in his favor. But you got to think now that Gillespie, if you want the insurance down by 3, something on maybe for Bourne.
A couple defensive changes for Hyannis. We'll dive into them after this pitch. Clay Grady leading off, batting third for Bourne here in this inning, and he sends one on a line to left field. A one-out single for Clay Grady, and it's the second hit of the inning for Bourne.
Really good swing there from Grady. A little bit out in front, but has his hands, his barrel through the zone into left field, and Grady makes such good contact. Lined out tonight, has that single, always puts the bat on the ball.
Those defensive changes, Mason White moves from second base to left field. John Gazdar moves from third to second. And Wallace Clark, who came in to pinch hit for Casey Hintz, is at third base here in the top half of the 8th. Bourne threatening. Runners on second and first with one away for the top of the order in Chris Stanfield, who's 2 for 4 tonight with that solo homer back in the 5th. Solorzano working out of the stretch. The first pitch to Stanfield, fouled straight back and almost playable for me, just behind the on-deck circle on the Bourne side.
And bounced off the brick lining on the backstop behind home plate as well.
If this netting wasn't there, I would have easily had that.
You would have had that ricochet, not off the netting, would have just rolled over.
Solorzano getting ready once again, working out of the stretch. Here's his 0-1 pitch to Stanfield. Another bunt popped up foul for Chris Stanfield. That's the second time we've seen that tonight for Chris in back-to-back at-bats where he's tried to bunt early in the count, and it's resulted in a foul ball.
Both have been upstairs pitches. That one, though, in off-speed, so tougher to bunt on the spin, but still for Stanfield, you have to get it down. And in that spot, though, with one away, you're looking for more for a bunt for a hit, so he's pointing down the third base line. A sack a lot easier for Stanfield, but you would use this sack with nobody out.
Now with 2 strikes, unlikely to see Stanfield square to bunt. With Gillespie at second, Clay Grady at first base. One away here in the top of the 8th. A 5-2 Bourne lead over Hyannis. Solorzano checking back at Gillespie, and now we'll see a potential back pick, but no throw by Solorzano. Count remains no balls and 2 strikes to Stanfield. Solorzano, couple of rocks, and comes to a set. Checks both the runners. Here's his 0-2 pitch. It's a curveball, and Stanfield goes down swinging on 3 pitches for the second out here in the 8th.
Really good breaking ball pitch from Solorzano to just go to the lower half of the plate. Stanfield out in front. Really good pitch and a gutsy one there, especially with the 2 runners on, and we've seen pass balls play a factor, but now the RBI chance for Conrad, and what some extra runs would do here in the top of the 8th inning.
Conrad made himself known to Bourne fans in that 7th inning, a 2-run single the other way. His first hit as a Bourne Brave, and another RBI chance for the newest Demon Deacon. First pitch, down in the dirt. Janik will be able to get it in time before Gillespie thinks about heading off for third. Runners stay put, and it'll be 1-0 to the newest Brave. Wearing number 26 is Conrad. Most recently belonged to Connor Whitgriff, who is now off the roster. Got 2 starts with the Bravos. Whitgriff going to take a couple weeks off before the MLB draft, where he's a surefire candidate to hear his name called. Back pick to second, but Gillespie is safe.
And he was so dominant for this pitching staff, but a starting pitching staff now that's coming into their own. Pitching a lot better of late. Also could hear Donovan Zach's name in the coming weeks.
Nolan Sparks as well, who pitched yesterday. 1-0 from Solorzano. Conrad laces it down the right field line. It's going to go all the way to the wall. Gillespie around third. He will score. Grady getting the stop sign at third. And Ethan Conrad with his second RBI hit tonight. This time it's an RBI double down the right field line. And Bourne's lead is back up to 4.
Ethan Conrad, welcome to Bourne. It was the excitement coming in, batting .469 in the PGCBL with 5 bombs and 19 ribbies. And a 2-hit night has reached base 3 times, bringing some RBIs. 3 here tonight for Conrad, and coming up big when it matters most.
This is the power presence in the top half of the Bourne lineup that's been missing over the first week and a half. And Conrad, a great addition. First pitch to Merrick Houston is above the zone. And now Bourne still with 2 outs, but runners on second and third. Conrad with the double off a second. Grady at third. Solorzano readies. Here's the 1-0 to Houston. Fastball just below the zone, potentially a little bit off the plate as well. At 91 for Solorzano. And it'll be a 2-0 count to Merrick Houston. Solorzano from New Mexico State, a two-way player. Only 5 appearances on the mound this spring. Here's the 2-0 to Houston. Breaking ball down in the dirt for ball 3 as Merrick Houston, as I called him earlier, a walk merchant, trying to add yet another tally to that total. He's got 2 of them here tonight. He had 3 on Saturday against Wareham. Here's Solorzano's 3-0 pitch, and it's down in the dirt for ball 4. And I feel like a broken record, but there's another walk for Merrick Houston, his 11th of the summer.
We should talk to Houston when he comes back. Maybe make it some T-shirts and have that saying on it for Houston. But his ability to get on base, it's something that, not always for a hitter. You want to be able to hit the baseball and show that in the stat sheet. But scouts, too, see Houston. His long at-bats, his patience at the plate. That's a mature thing that a lot of teams like to see, and especially sometimes being rare at the college level.
And once again for the Bravos tonight, bases loaded. They had him loaded back in the second, only got 1 run. Had him loaded in the 7th in what was a 3 spot. They have him loaded here, already 1 run in here in the 8th. And Jack Penny at the plate for the Bravos. First pitch he sees is sent a long way and high in the air to right field. Nick Groves camping under it in front of the scoreboard, and he makes the catch on the edge of the warning track. About 10 feet further, and Bourne would have had its 2nd grand slam of the summer. But they'll settle for Ethan Conrad's RBI double, and it's 6-2 Bravos heading to the bottom of the 8th from McKeon Park. You're listening to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Convention Data Services, or CDS, is an event technology company based in Bourne and a proud supporter of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Since 1986, CDS has been delivering customized solutions to the global trade show industry. Keep up with CDS at cdsreg.com, cdsreg.com, and follow them on Facebook and LinkedIn.
I'm Nick Roselli, and you are listening to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Fire.
Savor the moment with Portside Liquors. Discover a world of fine wines, spirits, and craft beer handpicked for every occasion. From rich reds to smooth spirits, elevate your experience with us. Unwind with excellence. Visit us today at 590A MacArthur Boulevard, where every sip tells a story.
I'm Isaiah Jackson, and you're listening to Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Bourne with a 4-run lead and trying to hang on to it as we start the bottom half of the 8th inning. Nathan Schwartz, Cam Manna with you here tonight. And we'll have a new pitcher for the Bravos. It's Joe Arriola out on the mound for the 3rd time this summer. His last appearance was against these same Harbor Hawks on Thursday, where he gave up an earned run on 3 hits in an inning and 2/3. He'll face the top third of the order. First pitch to Kane Kepley is a curveball out of the zone for ball 1. 4-pitch mix for Arriola. Fastball, curveball, a cutter, and a splitter. Here's the 1-0 from the lefty. Broken bat, bloop hit into center field, and that's a leadoff single for Kane Kepley. Couldn't tell whether the ball was the bat or the bat was a ball there for about 2 seconds. But nonetheless, Kepley with his 2nd hit tonight.
And the bat is like a cream white, so definitely blends in. And for that quick second, thought the same exact thing, and then it just bloops into center field past Grady and Stanfield. But however you can get on here, and the Harbor Hawks, another leadoff base runner last inning. They only got 1 with it on the Silva leadoff double.
And the top of the order hit Arriola hard on Thursday. Back pick, scooped out by Holcomb. Definitely an interesting move by Scott Landers, Kevin Curtin, and the rest of the staff to bring in Arriola in this spot against the Hyannis team that saw Arriola a couple days ago. And you have a couple of pitchers in your bullpen that haven't pitched in a couple of days. Arriola to the plate, and the first pitch to Snow is fouled off his foot. Griffin Hughes available tonight. He hasn't pitched since Friday. Justin West hasn't pitched since last Tuesday. Neither has Jacob Vogel, a right-hander from Indiana. Chase Meyer from West Virginia recently joined the roster. He could be available tonight. 0-1 to the plate. Snow, ground ball to third. Jack Penny throws to Grady at second for the first out. The relay to Holcomb is in time. 5-4-3 to erase that leadoff single, and there's 2 away in the bottom of the 8th.
Starts with Penny, just so smooth and composed at third base. Gets low, sidearm throw to second. Grady right there. Quick feed off the bag exactly as you draw it up. And a huge double play late in this one. And after Arriola, just got to get that 1-2-3. Face the minimum through Gazdar.
And now Gazdar to the plate, who hit a 2-run single off of Arriola, which tied the game on Thursday night at Dorn Park. First pitch to him is to the backstop, right by our crowd mic. And it'll be 1-0 from Arriola to Gazdar. Gazdar still looking for his first hit tonight. He's flown out twice and then fouled out to Gravelin to lead off the 6th. Arriola's 1-0, curveball down in the dirt. This spring at Wake Forest for Arriola, 16 appearances, a 4.85 ERA, and 13 innings. His 2-0 to Gazdar. Did he go around? Yes, he did, says Donnie Smith down the first base line. Initially called a ball, reverted back to a strike on the swing from Gazdar. So 2-1 the count with 2 away. 6-2 Bourne in the bottom of the 8th. The pitch from Arriola. Fastball spiked in front of Gravelin. 2 appearances on the summer for Arriola. 3 2/3, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .357 against him coming into this outing. Here's his 3-1 to Gazdar. Swinging and launching to right center field. Conrad on the move. He's going to make the grab on the run. And Joe Arriola gives up the leadoff single, but will face the minimum here in the bottom of the 8th as Bourne looks to continue this hot streak at the plate, get a couple more insurance runs, and put on the finishing touches to a win here on a beautiful Monday night in Hyannis. 6-2 the score. We head to the final frame next on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Marty Chevrolet is your dealer for the people and proudly supports Bourne Braves baseball. See all our cars and trucks at martychevrolet.com and go Braves.
Savor the moment with Portside Liquors. Discover a world of fine wines, spirits, and craft beer, handpicked for every occasion. From rich reds to smooth spirits, elevate your experience with us. Unwind with excellence. Visit us today at Portside Liquors, 590A MacArthur Boulevard, where every sip tells a story.
Hi, I'm Hyannis Guzman, and you're listening to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Hello, I'm Cam Kojal, and you're listening to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Top of the ninth here from McKeon Park in Hyannis. It's a 6-2 Bourne advantage. The Bravos looking to win for the first time since Friday at Falmouth, a place where Bourne will visit once again this Thursday night following the Wednesday off day. 5, 6, 7 in the Bourne order here against Solorzano back out there for Hyannis. Braden Holcomb leads things off for the Bravos. First pitch he sees, lifts up his elbows to get out of the way, and it will be ball one to the Vandy boy. Braden, a walk his last time up, 1 for 3 on the night with a single back in the second. A ground ball to the left side. 1-0, fastball again off the plate, this time on the outside. So 2 balls and no strikes to begin the at-bat for Braden Holcomb, who's gotten back into a groove following that 0 for 14 he snapped out of yesterday. 2-0 from Solorzano out of the wind, a ground ball to shortstop. This is Anthony Silva, backhand, long throw to first, and there's out number 1 in the top of the ninth.
And for Hyannis, you want to get some early quick outs here, keep it where it is, give your offense a fighting chance that has been hitting the ball harder, just hard outs, and they've got the runners on early, but they've stalled with back-to-back runners and leadoff base runners in the 8th and 7th inning.
This has been the most complete game offensively we've seen from Bourne all summer long. As Kojal steps into the box, first pitch from Solorzano is below the knees of Kojal for ball 1. Bourne scored 9 in the opener, but really only that one big inning in the 4th, and same thing in the second win against Falmouth. Only the grand slam was the main thing to take away from that one at the plate. 1-0 to Kojal is fouled away off the glove of Janik, so the count evens at 1s. But tonight, 3 hits in that second inning. 1 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th, 2 in the 7th, 3 in the 8th. They've had the bases loaded 3 times. They hit a home run. They had an RBI double, a 2-run single, doing a little bit of everything here tonight. And they've walked a ton as well. Solorzano, a long way between pitches. Now the 1-1 to Kojal. He didn't want to go around, but he did wind up doing so. So it'll be a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Gillespie thought it was strike 3. He'll head back to the on-deck circle. He's locked into his swings, trying to time up Steve Solorzano from New Mexico State. Hit 327 at the plate as a freshman. Couple of homers, 6 doubles, 18 RBIs. Also threw 7 innings on the mound. 1-2 from the righty. Curveball, never really had a grip on it. And the count will even at 2s.
And Gillespie looking for his 3rd hit here tonight. And for Kojal looking to get on for the 3rd time.
Kojal single back in the 2nd to load the bases. Double in the 4th. Since then, a strikeout and then a line out back to Fitzgerald. Next offering, change up and out from Steve Solorzano as Kojal works the count full. Kojal was 1 for 3 with a walk yesterday. 0 for 4 with a walk against Hyannis on Thursday. Came into the game hitting 182 with a couple of doubles. And now the payoff from Solorzano is sent high and deep to left field, but going to retreat foul and into the Hyannis bullpen. It actually crashes along the bench out there. maybe even one of the buckets that the Harbor Hawks have in that dugout along the left field line.
Long foul ball there from Kojal.
And Tim Corbin, Vanderbilt's head coach, has a lot of good things to say about Camden Kojal. Dive into those following the pitch. Solorzano working out of the wind, full count. Delivery right here to Kojal is spiked for ball 4. Camden Kojal works his second walk tonight, his 7th of the summer. And back to what Tim Corbin has to say, he says, Cam comes to us with a mature offensive approach to hitting. It's rare when you see young kids come into a program and own their process and intent, and he does that. And I think we've seen that so far over the first 7 games he's played in a Bourne uniform. Has been very patient at the plate, 7 walks. He had his 5th hit of the summer earlier, that single in the 2nd inning. Has a couple of doubles, including an RBI double, which he had the other day against Wareham. And he's just been pretty consistent in that 6 or 7 spot for Bourne in the lineup. He will lead off of first base with 1 away in the top of the 9th as Davis Gillespie comes back to bat. Looking for his 3rd hit tonight. First pitch, fastball called a strike for Solorzano. Gillespie single in the 4th, single to lead off the 8th. He would come around to score on that Ethan Conrad RBI double. Kojal leads off of first base. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Gillespie. Another fastball, another called strike at the bottom of the zone. 92 off the right arm of Solorzano. Bourne's done a little bit of everything at the plate tonight. 6 runs on 10 hits. They've also been stellar defensively, a goose egg in the error column. Kojal with a 2-step lead off of first. He stays put, and the 0-2 breaking ball from Solorzano barely misses the top of the zone on that black line at the top of the zone, according to the TrackMan data. A great help to us here calling the game. If we give you any speeds or distances, exit angles, it's coming from the TrackMan. Back pick to first, and Kojal barely gets back in there.
Really close call there on a great pickoff move, and it almost looked like Kojal froze, but not too far off the bag, enough to get back in safely.
Don't have a miles per hour on that throw to first, but Solorzano whipped it over there, almost got Kojal, and he spikes the next pitch to Davis Gillespie, so the count now evens 2 balls, 2 strikes with 1 away in the top of the 9th. Bourne up by 4, but looking to add to this already built lead. Solorzano readies, takes a couple of rocks, comes to a set at the belt. Here's his 2-2 pitch, and Gillespie waves through it for strike 3. It's the second strikeout tonight for Steve Solorzano, and it's the second out here in the top of the 9th for Bourne.
And the one pitch that Gillespie's had trouble with here tonight, and he's had those 2 hits, those low and outside sliders that dip away, leaning and just looking fastball the whole entire way, out in front, and leaning on that front foot, and they've got him multiple times with that.
Matthew Gravelin with 2 away and a runner on coming to the plate. Another attempt to get Kojal at first base is unsuccessful for Solorzano. But I just added him up with my book. Bourne has walked 9 times tonight. A night and day change from what we've seen recently at the plate. Solorzano against Gravelin. First pitch, breaking ball, down and out for ball 1. And we go back to that offensive meeting led by Jared Saltalamacchia just beyond the Bourne dugout prior to the game, in which every batter and Saltalamacchia talked for about 10 minutes over there before they started their stretching period and before batting practice, where there was a ton of adjustments made by each player. 1-0 to Gravelin. Inside out swing, soft ground ball to second. Gazdar throws to first, and that will end the 9th. Bourne gets a base runner, strands him on first base, but the Bravos take a 4-run lead to the bottom of the 9th, looking to grab that 3rd win of the 2024 season. We'll be back with the bottom of the 9th next on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Convention Data Services, or CDS, is an events technology company based in Bourne and a proud supporter of Cape Cod baseball. Since 1986, CDS has been delivering customized solutions to the global trade show industry. Keep up with CDS at cdsreg.com and follow them on Facebook and LinkedIn.
Marty Chevrolet, your dealer for the people, proudly supports the Bourne Braves baseball team. See all our cars and trucks at martychevrolet.com and go Braves. Keystone Place at Buzzards Bay, Bourne's premier senior living community, conventionally located adjacent to the Cape Cod Canal. Visit us at Keystone Place at buzzardsbay.com.
I'm Caden Bodine, and you're listening to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
I'm Matt McShane, and you're listening to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Bottom of the ninth, 3 more outs for Bourne's potential third win of the 2024 summer. Nathan Schwartz, Cam Manna, Adam Gotkin has been with us a few times tonight. Pleased to bring you all the action here from McKeon Park in Hyannis. Joe Arriola back out there for his second inning of work. He'll face Michael DiTallo, and the first pitch goes to the backstop for ball 1.
And for Bourne to close out this game, need the 3 outs here. Don't want to late heroics from Hyannis, but we'll talk about it. Just a complete game. We mentioned the pregame show. Bourne needed 9 innings, and they've gotten 8.5 so far.
Arriola's 1-0, sent to right center field. Stanfield and Conrad both over. Stanfield will let that one fall in the right center field gap. A miscommunication between Stanfield and Conrad will result in a leadoff double for DiTallo.
Third straight inning now that Hyannis has had a leadoff base runner. The leadoff double for Silva resulted in 1 run in the 7th. 8th inning, no runs, and the minimum was faced from Arriola. That double there from DiTallo, his first hit tonight, but Bourne once again needs to bear down.
Perfect placement, but definitely miscommunication between Conrad and Stanfield as to who was going to get that. But now Mason White to the plate. First pitch he sees from Arriola, sweeping curveball that misses outside for ball 1. White made that switch from second base to left field after Wallace Clark came into the game, pinch hitting for Casey Hintz. 1-0, swung on and missed. Beautiful breaking pitch. Looked like the cutter from Arriola for strike 1. That runner at second base would be the third of the day for Hyannis. They need 4 to tie things up. Next offering at the eye level of Mason White for ball 2. White, a great season at Arizona, a great first 2 years with the Wildcats. 2-1 pitch, swung on and missed. Elevated heater from Arriola makes the count 2 balls, 2 strikes. White was a freshman All-American by the Collegiate Baseball newspaper in 2023. Spent last year with Brewster, Bourne's opponent tomorrow. 2-2 pitch. Popped up on the infield. Jack Penny and Arriola are both there. Jack Penny calls Arriola off at the last second. Nobody covering third base, but DiTallo's not even going to try that, as Hyannis needs every base runner possible, and that'll be the first out on the pop-out.
And if I'm not mistaken, in Arriola's first outing, him and Holcomb ran into each other when Holcomb was at first base on a similar pop fly. This time, Arriola, understanding Penny has the ball, called off, and just backed to the way at the last second.
The very last second. Arriola looked like he had it the whole way. He probably could have made the catch and would have been no problem. Now the first pitch offering to Silva. Called a strike on the inside corner. Silva tonight had that leadoff double his last time up. 1 for 3 overall. Arriola's 0-1 to the plate. Spiked. Gravelin, it got away from him, but Ditalo does not take off. Hyannis not risking trying to get that extra 90 feet and getting that second out on the base path. So the potential wild pitch instead is just a regular old ball. So the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 away in the bottom of the 9th. 6-2, Bourne out in front of Hyannis. The pitch from Arriola, curveball. Looked good out of the hand, but it just goes too far inside, and Silva works the count 2-1. Silva, top 100 prospect in this year's draft eligible sophomore. 2-1, he cuts through it to even the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Silva was at the 2022 MLB Draft Combine. The 24 Combine finished up late last week. Coach Saltalamacchia for the Bravos in Arizona for that. 2-2. Curveball, foul tip into the middle. Gravelin for out number 2, and the Bravos 1 more out needed to get that 3rd win.
And a really good curveball there from Arriola. Low and inside, breaks at the last second on the inner half to Silva. Just kind of got jammed, and that timing from Silva in the box kind of tapped his front foot too many times, and late on a curve.
So Camden Janik, the final hope for Hyannis. 0 for 3 tonight. And a swing and a miss on the first pitch from Joe Arriola. Janik came into the night hitting .313 across 4 games. He was 0 for 4 against Bourne on Thursday, but had a great day on Saturday against Orleans with 3 hits. 0-1, another swing and a miss on that off-speed pitch from Arriola, and Bourne 1 more strike to get the final out here in Hyannis at McKeon Park. 6-2 Bravos, bottom of the 9th. 0-2 count, 2 away. Michael Ditalo, who had a leadoff double, stands at second base. Arriola will step off, throw to second. Grady applies the tag, but Ditalo had been on the bag for about 3 seconds. And a little bit of a delay before the 0-2 offering from Arriola out of Wake Forest to Janik from Illinois. Janik does not strike out at all, by the way. Only 11 in 225 at-bats this spring for the Fighting Illini, the 3rd best strikeout average in the country. But he did strike out in that 2nd inning to end the inning. And down in the count, 0-2 right here against Arriola, throwing from the left side. Arriola, the 0-2 pitch. Shot the other way. It's going to get out of play, and there's that discipline with 2 strikes by Camden Janik to keep the at-bat alive.
Has struck out once tonight, but just stays in the box so well, shortens up, widens the stance, chokes up, and a battle here for Hyannis would be a miracle, but yeah, that runner on second here late.
Hyannis in danger of losing at McKeon Park for the first time this summer. Arriola comes to a set. 0-2 count, 2 away. Here's the pitch. Curveball drops into the bucket. And for the 3rd time this summer, Bourne comes out a winner as Hyannis drops a home game for the first time here in 2024. Your final score from McKeon Park, Bourne 6, Hyannis 2. And what a night it was for Ethan Conrad. We mentioned it in the open, coming over from the Perfect Game League in Saugerties, where he hit .469 over the first 13 games this summer. He picked up right where he left off in the PGCBL. 2 RBI base hits tonight, the 2-run single in the 7th, the RBI double in the 8th, and he willed Bourne to that late offensive surge to where they would kind of just get away from Hyannis.
He's been hot since Marist, hot in the PGCBL, and starts off well with Bourne. He was big late and also made some big plays in the field, but also how about Chris Stanfield? 2 hits tonight with the solo shot that was able to put Bourne in front. And it all started in that 2nd inning for the Braves, and it kind of continued. We talked about hitting is contagious, but would Bourne have that ability here tonight to make it be contagious and make it be a 9-inning battle where Bourne plays consistent baseball? I think tonight's the first time that we saw the most complete game the Bravos have played. No errors. They win the game 6-2. You have 10 hits. The pitching was solid all around. The bullpen came through when it mattered most. And this is an impressive win from the Braves against a Harbor Hawks team that's played good baseball, and Bourne snaps a 2-game skid.
A complete game is the perfect way to phrase it. every problem that Bourne has been having, walking too many guys from the pitching side, striking too much at the plate, not drawing enough walks at the plate, not getting leadoff base runners at the plate. All of those were flipped 180 in this game as Bourne gets those 10 hits. They get a slew of leadoff base runners. You look back to the 8th inning with that RBI double for Conrad. Gillespie leads off with a single in the 7th with that 3-run inning. Matthew Gravlin leads it off with a walk. The leadoff home run for Stanfield in the 5th. The double play in the 2nd. That started with a Jack Penny single. This Bourne team finally feels like it's figured things out at the plate.
Big game here today, and we mentioned how the excitement coming in, there was a different vibe, a different aura, if you could put it, for the Braves coming into this game. Batting practice, the fist bumps as we talked about, the meeting from Jared Saltamakia to the whole entire offense that came behind the dugout. There was an urgency here tonight for the Braves to get a victory, and that urgency turned out in their 3rd win of the summer.
The final numbers, Bourne with 6 runs on 10 hits, no errors, and 11 runners left on base. As for Hyannis, 2 runs on 5 hits, also with a goose egg in the errors column, and 5 runners left on base. Bourne improves to 3-5-1. They'll remain at 4th place in the West Division as Hyannis now 5-3-1. And based on what Katuitt does, we'll see whether they make it 2nd place or 3rd place here to start the 2024 summer on the Cape. Tyler Fay, the winning pitcher tonight. He improves to 1-0 as Ryan Jambosky, the starter, falls to 0-1. Well, that'll do it from McKeon Park. For Jeremy Gay, our great producer, Adam Gotkin, our sideline reporter, Cam Manna, my broadcast partner, I'm Nathan Schwartz saying good night from Hyannis. 6-2, Bourne a winner tonight.